All right, we should discuss about how you want to do the tierings. What do you want each tier to be?
I just realized, why is it SBACD?
Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
I mean, are we trying to do a strength thing or a likely to see thing? I feel
think
like
strength.
we can just talk about strength.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
so what do you
like
want to do? Do you want to be like S tiers, like decks expected to have multiple wins, or something like meta
I
threats?
think, yeah, probably meta threats is fine. Or I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, the things you expect to win with, right? Yeah, B gets to be a Swiss performer. Yeah, pet decks, and then just don't queue this.
Well, every deck can be at worst a pet deck, because we see fucking darkness topping.
So true. You say that, but you did put darkness on here. I was like, you didn't put darkness on here, and then I see it right there.
Swiss performers can be like decks that can randomly take wins off.
Yeah, none of these decks are gonna be like shit tier decks because this is curated. So
Expected to top every event. Maybe that's too wide.
I think Weiss is too much variance. For
See,
that.
my thing about like meta, like tournament performance wise, I always think Gura, like the Kali Gura, will always top a tournament. Well, I expect the Kali Gura to still get multiple tops in the tournament. Do I think it's S tier though? Personally,
no, absolutely not.
Why do I expect it to get lots of tops?
I don't even want it to. I don't even. A part of me doesn't even want to consider it A tier, to be honest. Spoiler alert, but it's like it's the Swiss performer, man. It's the one that's gonna win you. If you play it, it'll get you through Swiss. But I don't.
All right, we're gonna get a third opinion here. Carmen wants to join in.
Yeah, sure. We can have Carmen.
What?
He's going to more events than either of us this season, probably. Oh no, he's not. He's going the same amount as me. Just kidding. He said he wasn't traveling this season.
All right, let me swap the call here. Actually, booked in.
Okay.
What's up, boys?
What's up, my homie?
We get to use this again so fast. Oh my
Let
God.
me get my webcam set up.
Chicago gets Quinn's cancer. I would like to play in the Quinn's format, to be honest. I want to play with Premium Booster really bad. Mostly because Quinn's Premium Booster lets me have the good Nino deck, the good Miku deck, and the good Ichika deck. And that's pretty cool.
Let me get my good mic real quick.
Nah, it won't be like that. Quinn's Premium Booster is not that strong. I'm gonna be real. Like, it's a good set. It is probably one of the better premium boosters to ever come out as well, in terms of like things that just raw support something. It's infinitely better than the Hololive ones, I'll tell you that much. But like all the decks kind of just get a needed bump. Like right now, I genuinely think decks like Miku are still very solid. Without it, it just gets a little bit more to help it perform a bit more consistently. Ichika just gets to have a bit more stock on average. I think that's like the best thing it does for her. And then Nino gets access to a different deck that, I mean, I don't know if we'll play that deck. So Nino will be interesting at least, because we still have 4 of the Summoner Nino. But I don't know if we care about the standby Nino. Like, I actually really like the JP Premium Booster deck, but I do concede that deck is only really good in a standby format as well, because it's like, it's just another big board deck, and it walls out things better. So it'll be something to consider. I don't think Nino is very problematic, though, if I'm being honest. It's like the deck's been at full power that it was banned for in JP, and we have never touched it. Like, it hasn't done like anything except for the one Cali guy that always tops with it, because he's like the Nino guy.
You guys hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, cool.
All right.
So we haven't put anything up yet?
Nope, this is how we're planning.
No, we literally didn't even start yet.
All right.
Meta threats, meta
Snuck
contenders,
in there.
Swiss performers, and pet decks as local decks.
Yeah, all right. So where's your
Okay,
side
cool.
It's worse than a pet deck, right?
Yeah, that's
Is
D
Carmen
tier,
streaming
dude.
from a hotel? Well, now.
Huh? Am I streaming from a hotel?
No,
No, it's my
room.
folks' place.
You don't see it. He
No,
has
no.
like a shit ton of cardboard behind him.
Yeah. It's because my folks' place looking for a house. I actually just put in an offer today, so we'll see if that pans out.
Oh, there'll be no cat, right? So I can actually like.
Yeah, there will be no there will be no cat. There will be no cat.
Oh my god.
No cats.
Weiss sings Celebrity True. The best singer in Weiss Schwarz, right
Oh
here.
god, that's not even true.
How many
posted it on Global, and I think it just got like he posted it like early in the morning, and it got like buried. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess nobody
Smoked,
cares.
man.
Funny. Oh, well.
I cared. I watched it.
I watched it too. I watched it multiple times.
Came out pretty good.
I shared it to my locals.
We're gonna they're more in the future. They're numbered for a reason.
I like
all I'll say for now.
Do we want to have
Aaron from Ohio Weiss helped me out a lot on that one. We were like giggling the whole time writing it.
True. Do we want any like notes on like quick bullet points on each deck to have up?
If you want to, sure.
Yeah, it's up to you.
You're just copying the one Japanese guy. I see you.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, that was nice though. It was nice.
It is quite helpful because I was able to like quickly just go through the deck I want to talk about.
Oh, because you're just watching the note.
Yeah, because I can't understand what they say anyway. It's like.
Yeah, true. But you can open your phone and Google Translate.
What was this meeting notes and what are these formats here for?
Meeting minutes. Yeah.
OVL sucks, by the way. Yeah, true. We're putting in pet decks, but
yeah, Overlord, no good. You heard it here first.
All right, not Comic Sans. Let's make it a big.
I mean, Carmen and I both like Arifreda. I don't know how Kevin feels about Arifreda, but
Arifreda.
I love
Arifreda's like a Swiss performer for me. I know you can.
Yeah, that's about where I put it as well.
Pops, but
it's unless your name is Riaz Mohammed, I do not.
I mean, even then, I think that deck just has too much. Has a little too much variance for my taste after like seeing it more.
There's a lot you can do to mitigate it with like pilot skill, but it could still be shaky.
Sometimes you do just get bodied by playing against those decks that like can just go under the drop search and you can't do anything about it, and you're just like, oh man.
I'm gonna give you guys a link to.
But I think Overlord is really good at going around the drop search.
All right.
There we go.
We'll start there. So we're only gonna put notes for like the good decks, right?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, sure.
Thank you, Mr. Fresh Cabbage, for the resub. 16 months resub.
Fresh Cabbage.
Wow, I should resub. He's prime. I'm never on Twitch anymore.
Yeah.
True.
Me either.
Always on YouTube streams.
I watch one single person on Twitch, and that's my king, Northern Lion.
Who?
And that's it. Northern Lion. Smartest man on the internet.
Okay.
Come on, bro. He's fond as Oshi, and you're gonna just say who?
Okay.
Fucked up.
That's pretty fucked up, but I don't care.
Oh wait, pin images. That's a brand new feature that came out today.
It's pretty bad.
That's some crazy shit.
Look. Oh, it's so funny.
Okay.
It hurts me so much.
Oh no.
It hurts me so much.
Oh wait, we can't turn it off. Unpin. Turn that off. Get that out of here.
I hate it so much.
That was so bad.
I can understand if you have
it's for if you have like super long things.
If you have super big ones. Like whenever I watch people do like a fucking full 1,000 Pokemon tier list, then that's like pretty good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, when you're like deep in the weeds on your like,
but we're like
food around the
there's like
nation
40 items on this tier list, so we're good.
Yeah.
All right, it is 8:48. Let's get it started. Let's get it twisted.
So tier list time. S tier are decks that we consider meta threats. These are gonna be the top dogs. These are gonna be the dogs you want to build
The dogs.
Yeah, the top dogs.
Doggerella.
The dogs you want to build around.
When you're gonna build your deck for the BCS season, these are the decks you gotta take into consideration the most.
There's only like one deck in the format that can actually tag against them well enough, but you know.
Yep.
ATR meta contenders. These are decks that we expect can win tournaments, but they're not gonna be as dominant as the S tier, obviously. But they're definitely like not tournament favorites, but tournament contenders. Tournament, you know what I mean. Whatever. These Swiss performers, these are gonna be random decks that are not horrible, and they can take games off you at Swiss, but they're not good enough where we perceive them to actively.
No, we're including Quince Premium. We're gonna include Quince Premium, but we'll talk about it. But
yeah, we won't include all of it because we're including all sets that comes out from now until, as far as
Kevin
we know.
Kevin just didn't want to make two things, but whatever.
But we can add it to the notes. You know, gonna be like
sure.
pre versus
post.
Premium boosters.
I mean, yeah, there's obviously decks that like Miku where it's like not even worth talking about them pre-premium booster.
I disagree. Actually, I think Miku is really good right now. I do.
Really?
Yes, I think the only thing that holds Miku back is the thing that's going to hold her back with premium booster, and that's Overlord existing.
Oh, the one deck we don't have here is Dengeki, but I don't think any Dengeki is good enough.
Honestly, I'm real. Dengeki is a pet deck, no matter what.
Yeah, there's no Dengeki deck is better than C.
You know what we didn't put in here?
As someone who coped and played almost every build, not that.
Is Shauna in here?
Shauna, yeah, Shauna's here.
It is there. Okay, Shauna's there.
Yeah, Shauna.
Shauna's
the trigger lineup. The trigger lineup doesn't change.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, no matter
it just
how
starts
you
to work forever.
Mess with it.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, Dengeki is just I tried so hard, dude, to make Dengeki a good deck. Like, I really wanted it to be good. It's just so mid.
When I standby stood the Yukina for the first time in 8 standby instead of trying to play the pants, and I was like, wow, this card works better without even trying to play any of its cards. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a waste of time.
I do try hard for mid.
So annoying.
Yes,
Tomoko is really funny though. That card's so cool.
I really do. I do like 8 standby Dengeki for what it's worth. I think that deck is fun.
Yeah,
it's very fun to play.
C tier decks that obviously saw results last season, but mainly by one person.
Yeah, it's like the decks that the dedicated people can play, and it's just one of the top. It doesn't really indicate a strength. It was a deck. There's a couple of these things in here, unfortunately.
All right, so let's start it off. Let's
get it twisted.
Going through each one by one. So it's all in alphabetical order based on their set code. Obviously, we have Quince number first, and then I ordered a Quince girl by what number they are as a Quince. We have number 1, Ichika.
Cringe.
It's not. I mean, she is 1. Ichika is 1.
She is 1.
She is 1.
Ichika's I would probably say she's like an A tier deck, but she's gonna be I want to lean her on the lower A tier, if not.
So
okay,
pre-premium booster. So let's talk about
pre-premium. Okay, no,
because the majority of tournaments will be pre-premium boosters.
I think she might be B, pre-premium booster, to be honest. It's
I think Ichika's so good, but
okay. So the problem with Ichika, right? And I mind you, I think this is a problem with all the Quince decks. I actually don't think. I think maybe Nino is the only Quince deck I'd consider better than the others right now. But my problem with Ichika is this deck is so reliant on certain stock thresholds, right? That because you need your early play. Miron dunks on your early play really bad because they just grab any change counter and they get the 2-for-1 you because you're not actually big enough.
You really crutch on the bounces to get around ACC in general. So Slime being hexproof is bad news for you.
Yeah, you can obviously play the bouncer, bounce their hexproof card, and then maybe win over the Murons, but they still get to anti-change you. And if they anti-change your Ichikas, you're losing pluses as well, which is really.
You always multi-field early plays too, unless you're having the worst game of your life.
Yeah, and
you're
not
always gonna get really dunked. You're gonna get really super dunked by the anti-change counter.
Yeah, so you
also
end up
everybody teching like ACC for Eins, like they're not even considering skipping on ACC. Not that many people do, but like just in general, because Overlord is around, they're never
it's a
ever
free card
skip
to just
on
like
ACC.
force Overlord to side you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
And let's talk about the good stuff about the deck. What makes it strong?
It's really fucking big.
Yeah, the early playboard swings so
we Karma had a whole thing where he established that like Ichika is like a primo, like high power attacking early play where she's like, if you want to check an early play to be bigger than it's her.
Yeah, it's not even the early playboard. Ichika at all points in the game hits decent enough numbers to hit over pretty much every deck in the meta, provided like you play the right techs and you build out your deck the right way. She also has access to a lot of free nasty bounce. She's one of the first sets.
Is so sick.
She's one of the first sets in English we'll see that has the 2/1 sack bouncer profile. Which
I think that was the first. That might have been the first.
It might have been the first. It might have been the first one ever.
Few ones. I don't know about first ever, but it's definitely one of the first few one. At least
it was the first one I ever saw.
Any really good
at minimum.
I think Jason also agrees with me on that one. I think that profile is really good.
Yeah, the bounce profile is sick.
Yeah, the bounce profile is really, really sick. They can also use it multiple times with like the saver, so they can get around ACC that way.
I think it's so sick.
Yeah, so they hit really good
power. They get
to
select for whatever they want. They have like that deck has extremely good selection once it's combos online.
Yeah.
Its 1/0 combo is also like, isn't it like decently big with the 1/1 back row too?
Yes, if you tech the 1/1 back row, you can hit over like 8/5 9K if you need to.
Yeah,
depending.
which is like actually like really, really nice. The selection of that card is good. I think Ichika, like the Ichika Rondo, and I don't remember the girl from Akashi Triangle, his name. I played that deck by the way, but yeah, that like profile of combo is really strong, and the fact that
just like the
really nice.
Top salvage, yeah.
The Rico like climax combo is really nice.
You have a dedicated game plan at every single level, and you have a ton of climax assurance. Like you can always pick up the right climax.
Broken. Oh my god.
Your EP is literally a cantrip that picks up any climax from your waiting room. That thing's like insane. And then rips 2 cards out of your active deck. So you compress your active deck.
Yeah.
After your EPs get down.
Your finisher is also like just good enough, I think. Like it has a combo that has decompression. Yeah. Because I think the flaws are so problematic.
I think one of the biggest problem, which is the same flaw of every other Quince deck, is no decompression.
No decompression. Ichika, mind you, Ichika technically has the most decompression tool with her combo, quote unquote, with the cancel burn shuffle back. That's the best you get in Quince, I think.
Yep.
So like, it's nice, but I do think the trying to be a mid game deck in a format
Overlord and
slime exist.
It's a little rough.
If those decks got hit, I actually think each could be easily like A tier, and then with premium booster, she'd be like one of the top. I think that deck is
being a compression
really
deck
impressive.
Is like,
yes,
it doesn't matter.
And then 7 deadly sins. SCS stock swap.
Yeah, it's like
SCS stock swap, slime like stock swap.
Although having the Moku yourself is pretty good against SCS.
Yeah, that's another like big plus. Is the actual bot, like the thing being a defensive counter, a defensive effect and a combo is really strong. Because you're like almost like Ichika plays like how I would consider what like an ideal standby deck wants to play, like being an A1K1 deck. Right? You get this like really good defensive 3/2 down at 2, and you just sit on it for and it protects itself because it searches for its counters. It can give itself stock to do its effect. It's really good. Post
premium booster, do we think does it move?
It's like an A tier deck, I think. Yeah, I do. I think post premium booster Ichika is if A tier, probably still low A tier, if only because I think losing the stock issue or like mitigating the stock issue means you can more reasonably play the game and like kind of do certain things where like first Overlord, my one friend for the one guys from Canada, John, who always plays Ichika now, like at every event, we had to talk about this. Where like first Overlord, you can kind of like stagger your early play turns because Overlord doesn't play any change counter, right? So you just have to worry about Ainz blowing up your cards, but you can like stagger to where you go like double early play into double early play after he wipes the board, and kind of do it that way, to where you don't just get blasted by Ainz doing the thing.
Each cut can actually break Ruxia and Kanta, I think. Well, the problem with Ruxia and Kanta is that
They just grab anti-change
yeah,
counter.
they always just grab anti-change counter because they're both selective combos. Well,
Yeah, they
Ruxia
just
not
bring it
always, because
back up.
Ruxia always needs to summon another copy of Ruxia first.
Yeah.
But
But
even
ideally,
then,
that Rushi is going to be trying to hold an anti-change. They're going to try to hold one on the first turn, if they can. Kanata will always have anti-change counter though. That will literally just sit on an anti-change counter and be like, "I dare you."
yeah, it's first if it's
Power-wise,
double
you can.
combos, it's always usually salvaged like double backup plus anti-change plus helmet or something like that.
And I do think Ichika gets to how big is Ichika? She is
She gains plus 3k, so she's 13. 14 with CX.
13, 14 with CX, so she doesn't beat. With
The
level
EP
X.
pumps power. Yeah.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you, I'm assuming you didn't early play that card. I'm assuming you went like your first turn of Ichika is usually just like double Ichika 3/2, because you don't have stock to do more than that a lot of time. Even with premium booster, I still don't think you always have the stock to do that. You just more reliably have that stock.
It's just me, or are we losing more and more tools every new set?
Yeah, because
We will for
are
a little
losing
bit.
tools.
We
Yeah,
will for a
either-
little
we will
bit.
either-
They're coming back. They're coming back now, though. So we'll
Not
loop
really.
back around.
No, I think they're being very mindful with what they give sets now. They're not just giving things
still
everything.
mainly giving sets Fumios and stock shuffles rather than actual stock swap. There's tap counters. They haven't given a tap counter since, well, I guess Rear Sekai did get a
No,
tap
something-
counter.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rear Sekai got one. Something else got one, I think.
We never had a
Yeah.
true money counter in forever. It's always
Shin-chan?
it was 5 or more.
No, Shin-chan.
Okay, yeah, besides Shin-chan. Shin-chan is, I don't know why, they just gave
Oh,
Shin-chan
I mean,
a
okay,
fucking
technically Grisaya
money counter.
reprinted theirs, but
Yeah, I mean,
know if you wanna
that
count
didn't
that,
count. Grisaya reprinted their stock swap, and Marvel reprinted their
Yeah.
stock swap.
no. Grisaya gave they gave Grisaya a stock
Yeah,
swap. They
Grisaya
gave them
got a
real
stock
Well,
swap.
technically, they
real,
already
yeah.
had access to a
No,
stock
no,
swap,
no,
but
that's not
it
the
was
same.
No.
That is not the
combo.
same.
I know it's
That is
not
not
the
the
No,
same.
it's not
but
the same at all.
They
The
did
set already
print them a
has
stock swap.
technically had a stock swap.
Sure, but
But
they
yeah.
printed them a real stock
That's
swap.
like the
generic
one, but that's still like we haven't seen a new set come out with a stock swap in a long time.
Yes. Oh, sure. They didn't have access to the ability to do so. Sure, I'll
Yeah.
concede that. But yeah, they are definitely skipping on it. They're opting for Neg Souls more because I think Neg Souls are just more fair. No, see, the thing is, they don't want to not have them. I don't think that's the right way to look at it. I think they want to just minimize how many sets have what tools, because having all of those tools makes sets suffocating. Like something like Seven Deadly Sins is like a mistake. Like that is actively negligence on the part of English Bushiroad to do the thing that JP Bushiroad has been working so hard to not give sets lately. They printed
like
them a
access
stock
to
swap in set
both.
1, which was
Yeah.
fine, and then they decided to give them two different Fumios. I think they had a Fumio in set 1 too, actually.
Yeah, they had a Fumio. It was a 2-1.
So they
Fumio,
gave them
yeah.
both in that first set, and then they decided to also give them a better Fumio,
Yeah,
which
Fumio
also
that
pushed a bit over
refunds
the
its
edge.
stock. Yeah.
and it's a 2-soul attacker. And
It's not a standard
So,
thing.
like-
all the standard stock swap and stuff are still around.
no,
but-
no. They said they don't want it in the standard like
Oh.
pool of cards being given to sets. But
Can't believe English
Is it-
exclusive Chronosuper is gonna be tier 0. That's
honestly,
funny. All the
real.
quotes.
Like actually,
I don't want them
I wouldn't
to
be
make that shit.
surprised. But I don't.
I don't
either.
want them to make that
All
shit
right,
because they.
let's
yeah.
continue on here. Nino.
All right, so to Nino.
I also
I
think
think
it's,
Nino's like.
current Nino is like B tier.
I actually think current Nino is probably the best quench deck you can be playing, if I'm being honest. But
But I don't think that makes it better
I
than
don't,
B
I don't
right
make
now.
it. Yeah.
no.
very-
So
I think-
If
Do
you
you
saw
want to-
Chairman's
up
tier
there,
list
or do
where
you wanna bring-
Chairman's like, if you don't have a
No, no,
stock
it's-
swap, you're not like. A
I-
tier.
I do
agree.
100% agree. The only reason Nino is good in Japanese is because one, all those decks don't exist anymore, and two,
Yep.
because the format is board based, and the premium booster Nino stuff is really good at breaking boards. Our current Nino is just a good standby deck. It does the standby thing. You still play the 12 standby. You can get your verses, which you couldn't really get a lot of time before, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing Nino and like playing against Nino pretty often as of late. It's like fine. Like it. I don't know. Like I don't really have too many comments that we didn't have that didn't have before because like nothing's changed.
Yeah, it's basically the same deck.
Oh,
the premium booster deck is like
dying. You're like the music is like gross. Do you hear that, Carmen? Or do you have a
yeah, I hear it. It's
yeah,
it's
like the music is like.
All right, just turn up the music. Fuck it, we don't need a BGM.
All right. Yes. But yeah. Yeah. Nothing. I mean, nothing with Nino's changed. It surprised. I think it still does surprise me how little that set has done, despite being at the stronger than Japanese like ever had it. Or I guess they had it like this for a little bit, but like they got that ban and we never had. It's kind of like it feels very Overlord reminiscent to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
we never got the limit 2 hit that JP got.
Will people even play the like movie Nino version of the deck
it depends on the
English? Like,
okay, it's pretty good into slime. If you want me to be real,
yeah. I
like,
mean, you hit such big
bigger
defensive power, which is what the other deck doesn't do. I guess it depends what you like. The current Nino deck with the with the old combo is very offensively slanted, and you don't really care about losing your stuff on defense, until you build the whole board, obviously, and everything.
How do I turn off the page dividers?
The movie one is like unbelievably defensively slanted. You get like 16k walls. It's under view, I believe.
Oh, there we go.
Right?
Pageless.
Or no, yeah, you can just do that. Yeah. You can just do pageless.
But I do agree that Premium Booster and Nino in English is probably a little on the cope side, but I do think it is an option to play because if you don't play that deck, I don't think Premium Booster adds anything to Nino.
Not really.
Like it really needed. Like at least it gives you the option to play like an extremely board centric deck to where you can potentially build the board that can defend against Muron, which is nice. Something to consider. The problem ends up being 7 Deadly Sins having a bounce. Does 7 Deadly Sins play their bouncer? They do, right? Like 100%.
It's like a wow. It's not as fundamental.
Not everyone plays it in English.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as fundamental as
Yeah, if you play against any deck with a bouncer, that deck actually just turns off though.
Yeah.
Because both your burn counter and your heal counter need 5 Ninos on your board. So
yeah, so they just don't work.
Yeah. That's pretty unfortunate. So like, there's definitely an issue with that deck inherently. But if people aren't going to play bouncers, which I think people will not, because I don't think there's actually a benefit to bouncers in the current format. It's a little bit better there.
What decks does even have bouncers? I guess SDS.
No, you definitely don't get the full board without committing to playing that premium booster deck. I just don't know if playing the old deck is gonna be worth it. Like you get the foolish burial, you get the foolish burial, and you get the brainstorm.
On Nino name reprints.
That card doesn't matter. They don't even play that. They don't play it. They play one of the Icy Tail.
All right.
Actually,
what makes the old deck better? Just having 12 standby triggers.
You're just like a what do you mean, like better than like the other Quince decks right now?
Yeah.
I think you're good. You're better into Overlord than the other Quince decks are. You have the scam to build your boards that get answered during attack phase. And like that's basically all you get. I think you're just a more resilient deck, and you have power that's harder to interact with. Things like the 2/2 Nino being 12k before anything else means that you can reasonably contest cards. And I said it before, like certain decks, just being able to contest cards like Muron, even if you can't beat them, is valuable enough because you're not letting them get the free compression. You're still making them spend their stock in their hand where they didn't want to, right? So if you can force enough
Slime
counters,
doesn't want to spend if they have to, but yeah.
So if you can force enough counters, you can potentially get over the things. And if they didn't sculpt for the cards, like maybe they couldn't, right? Like maybe there was no counters to search for in their deck, and you actually can beat over them, they lose. They lose their cards.
For bouncers, the biggest ones you have to watch out for bouncers are Oshinoko and SDS.
Is Nino the best going second deck in the format?
Oshinoko, CSM.
I guess it does. It's not. It's definitely not too bad at it, I think. But yeah, deck of bouncers, Ichika, STMs, Oshinoko, CSM. Ichika Nino does actually try feeling pretty ridiculously. That's true though. But AZL probably is the best going second deck though. That deck's so frustrating. Yeah.
Where do we want? So we want to put Nino higher than Ishika here on the A tier.
With premium booster, no, I still think I think Ichika is a better deck in English.
Okay.
We're talking about the premium
Maybe
booster.
we can leave
stuff.
those as they are. Either way,
But
I
yeah,
don't think
like-
they're
like-
near the top of A because they lack stock swap decompression.
They're not. I think like meta contender, maybe post premium booster. It is probably Nino or Nino. It's probably Miku post premium
Yeah,
booster because
Miku's probably the best one just because it's
that had its own problems.
decompression is baked in. And
Okay,
yeah,
well,
All
each
right. I think East Key is the most fraud
fucking
deck
hate this
ever.
deck.
Most
I hate this
overrated
fucking
fraud
deck.
deck ever.
I love this
Never
girl.
had its
Also,
chance.
Wait, you lied. He's in the wrong order.
What do you mean?
yeah,
What the fuck is this? Itsuki's 5.
Itsuki's 5, dummy.
I'm an idiot. Okay, Miku.
Oh my god. He literally walks it back.
All right, Miku.
Right now
okay,
is
this
like a
deck-
C tier.
No. This deck is in line with every other Quince deck right now. Like actually dead ass. I have been playing this deck in English, expecting the premium booster to come out, and just as a like test, right, to see if it was actually bad. Because if you look at
Current EN Nino
I
is
think-
better than post premium booster Miku. Dude, is this Elf?
I don't know about
in
that
the
one, but-
chat? Is this Elf?
that is L.
Okay,
That is Elf.
that's what I thought.
But okay, so like my thing with Miku that surprised me was that when you look at the premium booster deck, it is like 90% movie and below. Maybe even like 95.
Marker
It's like there's very few premium booster cards. You're adding the 2-1 combo and like as like a 2 of. You're adding a climax swapper as like a 1 of, and you're changing your brainstorm. That's like actually all the premium booster adds to Miku. It adds like that's a restander. It gives them a restander too, so it gives them like an extra way to finish.
Well, they get more.
But
Yeah, they have a bridge now. Wait, no, that's not the.
they have a bridge. They have actually like a good 2-1 right now. They can be playing. That gets a marker and has hand on core.
Okay.
Like
Market
the
compression.
cards that they have now are good, and it's the core of the deck is all there right now. But you get a 5-card AC tail, you get a restander, and a costless climax swap. That's like basically the big things you get, and you get another big body that draws cards. Oh well, you don't really need that.
Well,
much.
I think the biggest thing is that you get extra mill on your.
You have AC
pressure.
tail. Yeah, you get 1 card though. It's like adds 3 mills, so it's like
That's a good amount. There's a CX6 is also the third one. Every time I play Mocha.
Sure. I mean, I guess it's the argument of like Miku only ever. Actually, that is something I do like about Miku's Icy Tail is that her Icy Tail only ever needs to hit 1 climax. So like you don't actually get frustrated if you hit 1. You don't lose anything. You're just if you hit multiple, you could be technically arguably like compared to Aki losing damage, but if at the minimum, you're always still basically milling 2 climaxes as long as you have ward condition.
What's the negative?
So
currently, it's just a one.
if you wipe their back row, they lose. Because most of their markers come from their back row, and the way they early played the 3-2 comes out of their back row. You're still an Icy Tail deck at the end of the day. So you're still layered with randomness.
I hate going to the casino, man. I can't play decks like this anymore.
Bouncer,
I do think
the only one I can play anymore is Kana. Like I can't play anything.
Yeah, like wiping the back row.
that Jojo Rico randomly dunks.
Yeah,
it.
true. Actually, yeah, the Jojo Rico, the free run, check 3.
Yeah, randomly removing their markers.
But yeah, you're just a gamble deck. You're still Icy Tail at the end of the day. Is the problem with the deck. But I do think it is a really good 1k1 deck, all things considered. Right now, it's probably worse than it's definitely worse than the other two right now. but it has the value of being the only one with real decompression, where it's like Icy Tail is still decompression at the end of the day, and you're not just gambling on your opponent canceling.
What did you get
That
besides
is true. You are not unfair.
free swap and extra mill?
It got a restander. And it got, yeah, I mean, yeah. So it was the off finisher. It was a new 2-1 combo that's really big. So you get a way to contest Murons and stuff with the premium booster, which is also like pretty relevant. I think that card's like 14k. It's a 2-1 14k. I want to say it was stockless, but I could be mistaken. I thought it refunded the stock. That might just be Yotsuba though.
The Yotsuba one is for sure.
I know the Yotsuba one does for sure. I don't remember if the Miku does though.
2-1 Miku. What does it do again?
It's like a 14k draw 2 drop 2.
If it's the marker underneath it gains 9k, so it's a 14k. On play, you marker the level 1 combo, and at the end of this card's attack, you can sack the level 3 CX, and if you do,
draw 2 drop 2 stock 1.
Draw 2 drop 2 stock 1. Yeah. Oh no, draw 2. Yeah, draw 2 drop 2, then stock 2.
Oh, stocks 2?
Stocks 2.
Sure.
That's even better.
Yeah, so you get
+1 stock.
Yeah, so you can field 2 of those.
So
get your hand
booster,
filter
you actually
and
get
then
quite a bit of like stock back. Like your combos gives you +1 stock. You don't have to spend stock on CX swap. That's actually pretty big, and the extra mill.
Like I will say right now, I would say I very consistently have like the 5 to stick stock threshold that you need to, because Miku only needs 5 stock to triple Icy Tail.
Wait, I forgot to change this. I'll let you guys be editors too.
Right, it's 5 stock, 6 stock to triple Icy Tail. Sorry, because it's pay 1 on attack, and so you only need 6 stock because you get to play out one of them for free. Yeah, you don't go stock positive. You go stock neutral though. Playing 2 go stock neutral.
Well,
and then obviously you got your you go stock positive that you got your 3 stock play 2 1 soul attack, like 2 1 stock attackers that are like big. But yeah, you don't go you don't actually net stock unless you feel.
You do it. There's no reason. There's no way you go double unless you need the power.
Well, against like Muron though, you would go double, right? If you want to contest Muron, yeah, you go double, right? The top end is basically free. 6 stock to triple combo is
2 or
like
3 of the level 2-1 combo.
They play 2.
Yeah,
They usually only play 2.
It's not.
But
super consistent,
you might.
double, but
to be fair, you might look to play a 3rd because of slime, right? If you think you have to contest board, playing the 3rd is like reasonable, right?
All right. That's enough of Miku. Let's go to Yotsuba. Does Yotsuba ever climb past B tier?
No, I think if we're talking about not being an unfair 1k1 deck, this is a not unfair 1k1 deck. Like, it's a good 1k1 deck. I think the finisher is good.
Oh. I actually think the current Yotsuba is like C tier, and it doesn't get enough.
Yeah. 100%. She gets like B tier.
Not bar door. Damachi. Who the fuck plays? Dude, okay, no one cares. That becomes a C tier left the other Damachi deck. I'm the Yotsuba guy. I will not stand the slander. There's
my
just
local
so much
also
you
a
add.
Yotsuba guy, and he tells me the same thing.
Imagine liking a girl that likes you back.
Okay, so like positive, Mary compression, good-ish finisher. Loop combo.
The finisher is like what? It's like Maureen, and then you can burn 2 again if you want.
It's burn 2.
On attack, pay 1. It's on attack, pay 1, burn 2 with combo, and then auxiliary, pay 2, drop 2, burn 2.
Well, you need some kind of memory condition to pay 2.
Yukino on attack.
That's fake, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you get
that
so
memory
much
condition is fake
as
fuck. Like, that is not a problem.
Pose, but I still think it's like a C tier. There's a lot going wrong with it. I think the biggest thing is stock.
Your memory is all costed.
Yeah, all your memory is heavily costed except for the hand of clock one.
Yeah, and even then, it's not that good. Like your memory cards are also pretty mid. Oh god, what was it? What was the other deck that we talked about that had like really? It had the memory deck, but all the memory cards themselves were actually mid. Do you remember? Oh, it's Oshi. Literally Oshi. It's like playing memory Oshi.
Memory Oshi.
All your memory cards are stock costed and like fairly mid.
I think the problem with Yotsuba is like you're stock heavy, to get memory, but then your
But then
finisher
you need stock
is
to-
also stock heavy. So it becomes pretty awkward where you can, or even going double finisher is like not even possible every game.
I don't think Yotsuba was she name reliant? I don't remember her being like super name reliant. Oh, your tap counter becomes really name reliant. You do get a defensive counter, which is pretty nice.
Okay, but you can barely afford to use it because of
Is
your
Yotsuba B
finisher
tier?
is so expensive.
Yeah, I guess she's a Swiss
No,
performer.
post premium. I think this is like Yotsuba is a very solid 1K1 deck. Post premium booster, you get better memory.
Yeah,
you get a CX swap. You have CX swap always, which is really sick with 8-bar, right? Because you don't have to commit a fucking and the CX swapper itself is a good card because it bonds to your 1-0 combo. But yeah, I think like you have actual like that deck legitimately can have the resource to triple combo.
Yeah.
Like it is not granted not gonna happen all the time. You're most likely gonna go like 5 burn 2s, which is still pretty good, all things considered. But you can do 6 burn 2s. I wouldn't like look at somebody and be like, oh my god, you fucking high rolled the shit out of me. Because that deck can just generate so much stock, especially with the back row.
Okay. I haven't seen much of premium boosters
outside
of
John
Miku
John and my local
and,
Dan
you
both
know.
play Yotsuba.
One
So
of my locals
I
is
see it.
Yotsuba.
I see Yotsuba more than I see like any other Quince deck.
Okay. Now we can go.
Except Nino.
Itsuki. And
Now
again,
has changed.
Itsuki is, I think, it's a
Fraud deck.
fraud deck.
Shit deck.
It's probably
This
better
deck
than
actually
Yotsuba.
killed itself. Right now, it's better than Yotsuba, but I would
like-
rather play Yotsuba next set than play that.
When Itsuki was good, it like
Strong
like,
finisher.
like didn't even have a chance. It like didn't even have a chance to get played.
This
Now
isn't
it's
even
just like,
calling this deck
whatever.
solitaire is like being kind to this deck. This deck fucking kills itself all the time.
You literally just don't even do anything.
You can't. You're so bad at having your climax in this deck too. It's so frustrating. If you ever miss climax combo, it feels like this deck just fucking loses instantly.
You just play the one check X,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, actually,
Easy.
Itsuki is so fun to play. Like the first couple times you play it, and then like you hit the fail state like 1, 2, 3 times, and you're just like, this is awful. Why am I playing this? I literally just lose the game to myself, and my opponent's not doing anything. They're just kind of existing.
No, you just
And then you
hit on
sometimes just rob the game.
You just hit on every Mel and always hit Brainstorm constantly, even when you don't have CX. That's how you do it. That's all the people that still like Itsuki do it when I see them.
I will say Miku has the best. I think Miku has the best deck speed out of all the Quince decks as well. Has access to the best deck speed. I should say.
I think Miku does have the best compression.
Because you have the Rize if you want to play that, and you have the 5-card torch. Like your deck speed is like actually easily the best. Like not off a card, not off a combo. I don't care about Yotsuba's combo. Yotsuba has the best like deck speed combo. But like if you actually need to mill during main phase, I think Miku is
okay. Like main phase, yeah. I think Ichika's deck speed is actually really good, but
it's like fine, right? It's still mash. It's mash brainstorm and the 1-0.
The tap 2 brainstorm.
Oh, you have that card. That card is good.
The tap
that
2
card
brainstorm
only
and the Ricky early game. Like the
the
Ricky is so good for your first deck. The Ricky
dish.
is so good for your first deck.
That's true. That's true.
And then the brainstorm on second deck is like turbo gas, dude. That card's crap.
Okay.
So
post premium booster.
Post premium booster, the deck doesn't do anything. It got nothing. It got nothing.
CX swap.
That's it.
Itsuki.
I do on my 1-0 event at Miku. It's true. That actually got nothing because Itsuki also like doesn't care about names like that. It's like insane.
Yeah, it just does its thing. It has experience. It has experience.
I almost want to put the post premium booster deck like lower because you gain nothing compared to everything else. It's like actually
has the strongest
it's still
finisher.
a fine Swiss. It's still a fine Swiss deck. But
strongest finisher, scammiest finisher. No, yeah.
No, it's not scammier than Miku.
It's scammy. It's hard. Mocha Burn is 100% scam, dude.
It's more reliable than Ice
No,
Tail,
it's not.
but
no,
not by
you know what
much.
the problem? You know what the problem with this finisher is? You don't fucking triple. you do not triple with this fucking deck because anytime the game goes even marginally wrong,
I guess, yeah. If it
You
goes
no
marginally
longer
wrong,
have
you
the
only
hand.
double. Yeah.
If you don't
like,
if you get a bad game,
Oh my
bad
God.
game cancels, it's just like
no, it's not even a bad game of cancels. It's you play your combos, right? You have 9 hand. You're like, I have all the hand to triple. I have 10 hand. I can triple combo. Super easy. Play Neatski. Don't see door. Play Neatski. Don't see a door. Play Neatski. Don't
Man,
see a door.
talking
Oh,
about Quince in
it's not
general,
triple comboing anymore.
I'm so underwhelmed by like the current Quince decks. Anyway, I respect the new JP Nino deck in the JP format, and I think Ichika's always been pretty okay. Miku, it's just another stupid Icy Tail deck to me.
It is okay. It's another stupid Icy Tail deck in a
Personally-
format that doesn't have stupid Icy Tail decks, though. Think about it that way.
That's true. Yeah, when it comes to English, it'll be the only stupid Ice Tail deck alongside Oshinoko. It'll
We
be-
didn't have Abu to announce yet.
Yeah, but well, I mean, it'll come eventually. Got it. The other ones eventually, but I don't know. I hate all the Quince decks. Every time I sit across from any
I
of
would
them,
honestly
I'm
not
like, ugh,
be.
don't care.
I would not be like feel bad about just leaving them all in like B tier, except for maybe like
I do think
Ichigo
having access to stock swap
post
does
premium
mean a
booster.
lot. I do agree with Simu on that, but
I think
Post-
maybe Ichika is the only one that could stay in
think-
A. post
okay.
premium
well,
booster,
Miku
but-
also.
I think leaving.
Okay.
I think leaving those 3 in A, if we leave them at the bottom of A, is fine.
Sure, I think that's fine.
Yeah, but like, I think that's okay.
Notably that they are post premium booster when this is happening too. But yeah, they're
Yeah.
like the bottom of A. Like they're the we get by on card quality despite not having the good decompression tools.
Yeah.
All right, Avatar
But-
C tier.
Throw this shit in the
Fucking shit
trash,
deck.
man. Literally fucking throw this
This is
shit in the
actually-
garbage.
this is actually the worst
Absolutely
deck on
useless.
here.
Can you create a throw in the garbage tier?
Like, okay, like this deck is fun, right? It's fun. The 4-color thingy is really fun, but like it is in no way like very competitive at all.
I
No,
mean,
I
you
think
keep-
C is fine. I think C is fine. It's literally a locals deck, dude. Like
I think it's worse than that.
no.
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay,
The
okay.
filtering and the
You
filtering
you still have
Would
and
you
the
rather
consistency
play-
stuff is there.
Would you rather play Konosuba over?
Yes, I'd
No.
rather play Darkness over
no.
Atlas.
I would have to play Avatar.
I'd rather play Darkness over Atlas.
I could
every
actually
single
sit
time, bro.
there. I could sit
Okay,
there and
no,
say
no,
at least I'm having
because-
fun when I'm playing Avatar.
Because because here's what I won't be having fun either when I play, but when I play Darkness, I can at least play that stupid double drop soul, mill, and it trigger and crack my opponent for 5 on first deck and just randomly fucking win.
I'm not really a fan of playing like that. I think like at least Aang can scam people because Aang has like shoved the clock.
I
what's your
guess
point?
you do have all the filtering power of the
Aang-
old
okay,
Avatar deck,
Avatar-
which is crazy.
Still has
still
a
has
good
stock swap.
brainstorm. They still have stock swap. They still have the really stupid JC. They still have Salami in a deck that supports Salami. Right?
Yeah, they
You
have
have
all
the
the
back row to
fixing and
make-
utility still.
You have the backer to make Aang better.
didn't lose that.
Toph combo is still really fine. That card's never been bad. Right? You
It's
still get
fine.
to play the
It's fine
Avatar
because
stage
of
2-1.
how the deck works. It's fine because of
have
how
Super
the
Ricky.
zeros work.
Yeah.
You have a replacement Ricky.
Okay, let's talk about
Like your cards are all fine. Like actually just fine. The deck is just
Can
fine.
scam wins. Still,
Like
You just don't have the
there's
actual like
nothing
X
wrong.
factor. You don't have the
yeah,
X
you're not
factor in soccer
ruining
anymore.
people because your deck is stupid.
Well,
Which
yeah,
is fine.
deck was a war crime.
It's a locals deck. You can go play it at locals and have fun. Like my friends have played at local and they did fine. Like they're not like sitting there like I can't play the game. This is so fucking miserable. There's way more miserable decks than Avatar. By far. Like
guess,
honestly,
yeah.
I think
You
one of the
could-
most cringe part about Darkness is that I think Darkness's zeros all fucking suck dick.
Yeah,
outside
that
the
is
double
true.
drop
That is
stage.
true. You can finesse. You could finesse so many wins off the utility of Avatar alone. It would probably be okay. You can fix your way out of almost any situation with that set's tools.
Yeah, like
They're really, really good.
Right.
I-
I was
yeah,
trying to
see,
remember
even
his
Darkness
name.
Man here knows. It's salami, bro. It's salami.
Yeah, Salami's so cracked. Most,
Double drop surge is your best card by far. That card's so broken.
Yeah, they don't print that profile in main phase for a reason.
Wait, you said clock swap, not stock swap.
Oh.
Unless you meant clock swap. Unless you meant like the Suki,
Yeah,
the Suki
I mean-
bomb, which I mean that card's still pretty
That's
good though.
a utility.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
and then you have stock
This
swap.
is a stock swap, actually a stock swap deck.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, all of your 0 utility makes the level 1 combo really
but
good.
it's on play double drop search. That's why it's broken. If it was the on attack one, I don't think wait, it's on double darkness on play, right?
Darkness
crazy?
on play. Yes,
Yeah,
it's on play.
Unlike the on attack one. That's OP. The Kasumi.
What's
All
bad
right,
about
we
the
can
deck?
move
that's all
on
I
from
just said about it.
Avatar.
What was bad about the deck now? You're still a gotcha. You're an RNG reliant finisher again.
No mid game.
So,
Yeah, you have no
You
mid
you
game.
you have no mid game,
Avatar's
and your
like never had a
finisher
mid
isn't
game.
your finisher
Isn't
isn't broken
reliable.
enough to like it. Your finisher isn't.
Your
broken
finisher
enough
is
to
like
actually
silica on average.
that.
I would say.
Do you know how good your finisher has to be in modern day to actually skip level 2 entirely? Like to have no plan at level 2. Yeah, you actually have to have such an insane finisher to completely skip level 2 these days. And Avatar 100% post Sokka ban does not.
Yeah, your deck gets a little more awkward too because like you're playing Katara EP and that card's not very good. But
Attack on Titan.
It's so bad I wouldn't even play it.
Here we go. And there's C
can I
tier
be
deck.
real? I think Attack on Titan's worse than Avatar. Like by far.
It does do nothing.
Worse.
There's like no
It
redeeming
does
quality.
do absolutely nothing.
Your redeeming
Okay,
quality
it has
is that you're
it's
IC
what
zeros.
one redeeming quality is.
Everything it could
Armor
do
back row.
has been everything it could do besides arm and back row has literally been power crept out of the game.
Yeah, like
vanilla.
sad.
remember it's like I remember when that Krista
I was
think
like, oh,
Krista
this
is still pretty
1/1
sick,
gear
but-
is fine, and nowadays it's like, really? It doesn't
No,
fine.
like this deck is so bad.
Not anymore.
Like there's just nothing redeemable about this deck. Mikasa is so vanilla. Armin back row is your god. Aaron Titan is like okay. You have Card Titan. That card's cool.
Card Titan's cool.
Like this like AOT currently is that set that has like those random little snippets of like the cool cards, but the cool cards don't do enough to make a good deck.
You have Sasha's dad. That's a cool card.
Armin back row
It's
isn't
cool
even
plays
that
with
anymore.
Sasha.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. But
No,
it's a cool card.
but it's power card. What are you gonna do with it anymore?
and it's still hexproof assist. So it is hexproof. It is a design mistake. That's true. I'll give you that one. That's true. That card should have never been printed.
All right.
Yeah, I'm still kind of upset that like I lost to this deck in trios. I think when I played. I think I was playing.
I'm
Alice.
upset. I lost that.
I
Attack
lost
on
to this deck
Titan
because
with
it was just mill 4 hit climax 0/0 6 the 4 and then he killed me with a swing for 3 and I'm like oh.
When
Okay.
was that? Was that 2022 New York when I played
What?
Fate? And I lost to AOT?
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah, one of those.
2023.
Yeah.
All right,
I got
we can
scammed.
assume it's B tier, right?
Yeah, it's B tier.
Top of B. Get it above both those.
Okay.
fucking
Okay.
places.
It is above those decks. I don't know if it'll
Okay.
be top of B, but it's definitely above those decks.
Reasons why. Okay.
Two souls.
Hear me out.
Okay, yeah.
No,
Go ahead,
two
Connor.
souls.
You pop
Okay.
off. I'm gonna get.
Okay. Stock swap. Giga stock. Insane options to like leverage that Giga stock into like picking apart your opponent's endgame deck state. You could 360 no scope your opponent from pretty low too, provided that you can put together the right amount of finishers. It has a completely non-interactive game plan that just pushes a ton of damage early. And even if your opponent doesn't cancel, because of the way Shea works, you can literally fumes your way to at least like double Shea finisher on most games. So even unlike a lot of these decks that you see where it's just like, oh, you just eat the damage, and then your opponent has no resources. Ari Ferretta is a decent enough deck and has a lean of enough finisher to actually finish the games where your opponent just eats everything. So
Yeah,
that's why. If you don't know how this deck works, 1/0 UA, when they cancel, you get +2 hand in terms of the card coming back, and you check for add, and you get 2 stock. They have a back row that is pay 2 tap, ditch a character, salvage 2 characters with the same name. The entire deck is built off of stocking doubles of cards for later and grabbing those cards later. So like there's the base level of this deck where you just play it like an idiot and you just slam 2 souls and you have no actual idea what you're doing. And then there's the Giga Brain next level of this deck where you're like actively tucking away cards in specific stock positions later to pay out with Shea to get like exact finisher lines, depending on your matchup. You can absolutely get 360 no scope by this deck from low 2. If you disrespect it. If you just think of it as another stupid... Like, if you treat this deck like cats, you'll actually get fucking blown out and killed. Because you can actually player diff people with this deck. Unlike
I actually
cats.
think... Okay, what if I told you I think this deck is actually interactable? Like, you can... You
can, yeah. Because of the memory condition and a couple of things, yeah.
You can make this deck have to take the most miserable turns in existence just to get its condition.
Yeah, you can definitely cripple them early if you're playing the right set, especially if you have like bombs and like doing things like forcing them to crash on turn so that they only double combo is sometimes the difference between you winning and losing the game.
So they can only single combo if they do that, which is crazy. But yeah. Also, like, you have to see your climax. You're not very good at seeing your climax in this deck.
Yeah, you are. You play 3 clock finds.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Check 3. Who doesn't play those?
The clock. Which clock find?
They have check top 4 at any card and a spammable check 3 brainstorm to play.
I'll be real. I feel like I don't see people play those cards like ever.
The blue teacher. Bro, that's like a 3 or 4.
Maybe they play 1 or 2. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I really play
that's like a core card. 3/4 of teacher, which is tortoise to clock, check 4 add. You also have the Hajime that's sack another character.
Okay, that's a card actually nobody plays. I think that card is base.
That's a card me, and Riaz all play. But
I think that card's base.
Yeah. I doubted that card. I doubted that card at the beginning, but that card is base. That card's sick.
Which one is the Saxy X swap?
No, the one that you clock yourself. You clock yourself, and it plays the CX for you.
Oh, I didn't even know that deck had that.
Yeah. We talked about it in our tier list, by the way.
I think that teacher and check 3 brainstorm are getting around, but like depending on what build you play, if you don't see climax, Jason is
you are still very beholden to have.
You have to build around and quote unquote int your deck's
slots. You do a bar though, which is
climax. Yeah,
I guess having a bar is nice as well.
Bar helps.
Like your second.
Bar filter does dig you to maybe find a 2 soul.
Also, your top end is your actual top end combo is pretty shitty though. Like the restander is like super mid. Because in reality, your finisher is Hajime loop is like looping UA EP burns into however many attacks you're allowed to resolve, right?
Yeah, but I do think the deck. Unlike, I mentioned this while you were up from your chair, but I said, like, unlike every other deck that's ever tried to do this before, Ari Ferretta can actually get to a reasonable, like, scuffed but fumes finisher turn on the games where your opponent actually just eats everything and can actually end games because of the way Shea works.
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shea is cheap
unlike
enough.
Other decks. And my main point with this is if you treat this deck like playing against someone playing cats, where that deck is actually a first deck casino, you will actually get player defed and killed. If your opponent knows what they're doing. You can't disrespect Ari Ferretta the same way you disrespect people playing cats. That's all I got.
All right.
And if Riaz is on it, it's S tier.
I know Adventure Time Man is here, but put Adventure Time in C tier, bro. I don't even want to talk about this deck. Dude. There's like nothing to talk about. This deck, it's good finisher.
Finn and Jake. No.
Yeah. All right. What do you think?
Better than AOT. Better than AOT.
Better than AOT.
Better than AOT. I think it's better than Atla.
I think Atla has better cards at every other level.
It can be in top of the C.
Whatever, man. Yeah, if you hit on your standbys.
Semantics of the Weiss's deck, because Mr. Kokulan over here brought it to Worlds and made top 8 at Worlds, man.
Utilities. Like, what does it have for utility-wise besides just like...
It's literally just outdated. Instead of saying all this, you can literally put Finn and Jake good, rest of deck dated. That is literally all you have to say.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really have good utility cards. You have like the memory drop search. That card's like okay. But yeah, Finn and Jake, busted card. Like other than that, you're kind of just like you're a mid hybrid standby deck. But Sword is a good card.
Sword is good. Sword is good.
Sword is a good card. It's Wormhole.
In the right matchup.
Wormhole's a bonder. Except right now, we've also established that bouncing right now doesn't do anything in the format. Like, there's not enough things that are worth. But like,
if you run into other if you run into like each card or something, it's like pretty nice to get have.
Yeah, it's good into
bounces.
Ichigo. It's good into Kanata.
Good
Well,
against-
kind of good into Kanata.
good
I wouldn't.
against- I wouldn't say
super
about
happy.
Kanata. I think Kanata. If Kanata gets bounces, they don't care. They fucking just Kanata again next turn.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, the thing I was gonna heal with is back in my hand. All right, that's
But
fine.
it's like, yeah, it can't be good in
What if-
specific matchups. I think the biggest thing against Kanata is that you can turn off tap counter.
Tap counter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sword is good. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about him. I don't think that deck is like.
Yeah, but it's
super
pretty much
crazy.
Sword's good. Finn and Jake is good. Rest
Finn
of
and
the deck.
Jake is still an insane finisher.
That card is so good.
All right.
That card is so good.
Ayakashi.
Daikashi Triangle,
Defense.
dual S tier. God, if they would never let me.
Dual S tier? Okay, bro. Okay, bro.
Okay, I do
I want to say it's top
firmly
3.
believe these are meta contenders decks. I firmly believe after
Actually,
playing
yeah,
both
I
of these,
think
they are meta contenders. They are better than Quince in every capacity. I would choose to play both of these decks before I played a single Quince deck.
I'd play both of them over Quince.
Maybe
Maybe not
not-
Ichika. Maybe
a
not
booster
Ichika.
Ichika.
Maybe not Ichika.
Maybe not.
Ichika.
But
yeah,
Wait,
each
put
because
Yeah, I think
maybe,
Ichika Premium Booster is so much better.
Put her above the other two Quince decks, and we'll leave it for now. I don't think she's better than them, but I think she's like as good to where she's the deck I would consider comparatively.
Put Standby over Pants. Just do it now. Right?
Okay.
No.
Standby. No.
Okay, let's talk about pants first. Let's talk about pants first.
Pants
Okay,
first. Okay.
so-
All right.
So I'm the only person that plays these decks. You would have played against them in
I-
Ohio, right, Carmen?
I
But
played against it. One of my-
I play against a great deal of Ayakashi, and Brandon has both these decks
so
as well.
I got the sauce for 8 pants with like the red yellow shit. I am a standby believer. I love standby Ayakashi Triangle. But yeah, so level 0 bombs are a problem. Fortunately, I think the only deck actively playing level 0 bombs is SDS, if I'm not mistaken.
Bochi.
Oh, and Bochi. So that is a little bit of a
those
problem.
are
And some Hololive decks can be playing.
I wouldn't.
Contact.
I would consider CSM decks over.
CSM isn't going to choose that card.
No,
Oh,
some
no,
some
I
people might play 8 bar. CSM.
Well, no. They might play a
Oh, I
bar
don't know, that deck's ending.
or 6 choice. 6 choice 2-door plays bombs, but
Do
Oh,
they? What
they
bomb?
play.
Yeah,
I think
power.
power. Yeah, power bomb. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a bomb. In
Okay, is it a hard removal bomb or a red
stock
bomb?
bomb.
Or like
Hard
a
removal.
stock
Hard
bomb.
removal.
With
Stock.
stock bomb.
okay. So for what it's worth, I do think bottom deck bomb is the worst bomb for this deck.
True.
Stock bomb is usually fine because you can actually pick the card back up. So what I really like about this deck is it's a combo that heals a lot. It is the true epitome of like if this deck cancels at 2, if we want to talk about a deck that will actually just stay at 2 for as long as physically possible, it is this deck. Like Overlord tries to do like this, and Overlord is better in the sense that it burns and it heals, obviously. But like if they get to combo again, they get to play down like more, they heal so like you're healing like I think I played a game where I went triple combo, heal 6, they answered 2 of them, and then I just played another one down, and I still healed another 3. And I went like, all right, sure, whatever.
I've also watched this deck heal 12 times in a game and still lose.
The deck does not heal.
Bad
does not heal
damage.
super well. It does not compress super well. Your damage is fine. It pushes damage as good as a 1k1 deck pushes damage, right? Your finishing power is basically like burn 1, burn 1, burn 4. See not in trouble go, Kevin. I told you before. It's every finisher in the game. But
bad compression.
Your opponent, your bad compression, or not even bad compression. You can say like it just doesn't compress
fine.
well.
Yeah.
Doesn't typically compress well. Is how I would say it.
I would say playing the I've recently been on
opponent can
red,
ignore
yellow,
everything. That's the big thing. Opponent can
that's
ignore you at every
fine.
level.
But you like that though. Like that deck likes that you ignore them because then they just gonna play their cards more. If you don't interact with the Ayakashi cards because you're scared to interact with them, that's the plus for them, I think.
It depends. It depends on what they're doing. It depends on the matchup.
Yeah.
But it depends how much your opponent gets for ignoring you.
But like, what I really like is like with the yellow red stuff. The red event gives you gives you like better selection for your 3/2s and your 2/1s. The 1/0 yellow event, like it's just a torch. Realistically, it's a torch that can bounce a 0, so you can bounce like Lunas or cause zeros. So you can bounce like Lunas or whatever. You can play Nexal backup in this deck. I do play one. Which is it's tutorable.
I think
Nexal,
you should play one
good.
in every Ayakashi deck because
Well, in
that's
8 standby I
power
play
card.
2. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so you get to play
Character deck
Nexal.
too,
Like
right?
you yes, choose a character, any character not in battle, so you can give it to another one as well.
Also has. I remember that now.
Yeah, that card's really
and
good.
and a good say it has -2 soul counter and a good anti-change counter.
Yeah, you have Amelia and
Yeah.
counter as well. But yeah, I've been playing there's a 0/0 package you can play where it's a 0/0 2K on play, ditch one, search for the 0/0 back row. While the back row's on the board, it's a 4K. The back row's a global 5 and has rest 2, pay 1 rest 2, check 4 for level 1 or higher card. So it gets you into like the 1/0 search, like a torch event, and it gets you into the 2/0 event and your pieces. And it actually and it gives you a 45 body on turn 1. So you actually get like you have like pretty good plussing zeros between that card and the chaser, to where like it's actually like pretty hard to out your board, because if you have those, even going second, you can be fielding like a 45 and a 4K. If your opponent doesn't hit 0, they probably don't answer, or hit 1, they probably don't answer your board. You just don't really try lane in that deck very often if you don't have to. I think you're just like a good EP deck.
All right. Now the 8 standby deck.
I mean, 8 standby is probably like I think it's like probably the best 8 standby deck you could be playing right now.
Probably. And probably will be the best 8 standby deck besides Quince.
It standbys so for being an 8 standby deck, it standbys as much as Nino does in most cases. I feel like, except for like that
it's
one
really
specific.
good at digging for triggers.
Yeah, it digs. It has so much draw drop, and it has good deck speed. It generates a lot of stock. Because you don't spend stock on anything except for moving through your deck. So like your pay 1 sack, check 4, and your brainstorm are like the only thing you spend stock on.
Stock light.
This deck can also just like out of nowhere when they're
just
like
trying
to build their board. Like they're like just building their board at level 2, and they go, okay, twin drive, trigger a standby, trigger for 4, and while they're like going to get their fucking
standby
card to put on the board.
Dude,
you eat the fucking 4. They put the second finisher on the board, and then they're like, okay,
burn 2.
So you're 3/5 now. So burn 2 3 times to close the game, and you're like, okay, well.
I will say that it's one of my favorite things about this deck is just for level 1 standby combo is probably one of the best. It's probably the best standby level 1 combo in the entire game. I would like
entire game,
put money on that.
Twin drive, man.
100%. I think it is the best level 1 standby combo in the game.
Yeah, twin drive plus plussing, like
the rando like combo is so
is
good.
Like
the reveal top salvage, like Rico
the only
salvage
way,
is really good.
The only way this deck outs slime is to put the bodies on the board and like pray to God it can counter through Murons, which is like asking a lot. But I actually don't think this deck loses that hard to SDS nor Overlord, because I think at a bare minimum, right? I definitely agree. Alf has said this before in like another chat, where the only good standby decks are the ones that don't lose to their board just getting outed for a single turn. If your deck gets outed in a single turn and you lose the game off of it, it's dog shit, right? But I think Ayakashi is really good at rebuilding its board if it does get wiped. It's really good at playing for a very conservative standby board on the turn you know that they're gonna wipe you, and like not overcommitting its resources, which is a plus. And then this deck gets to just put a finisher on the board out of nowhere. Like it has no commitment to having this finisher on the board. It's like, oh, I played the standby, summon the good 3/2, summon the 3/2 global 15 back row. Oh, I triggered. All right, summon a double global 15. Oh, I triggered, summon a Matsuri. Okay, cool. I have double burn 2 whenever, just like off on the board off out of nowhere. I literally did that to that. I played in Trigger League and I did that to like the one guy. I just like put it on the board and I'm like, well, You can't afford to crash a single lane because of the 2-2. Well, ideally, you're putting your board out first is the only way you're getting anything, and then you're just trying to use the cards to like, you're just trying to trigger into your board. But yeah, Nino can definitely deal with slime better sometimes, but Ayakashi also does have a Fumio, which I think is like a valuable tool to have. Both the decks have a Fumio, but like I think it's okay if your deck is really bad into one of the top 3. I think that's just like if you were a deck that was naturally good into the top 3 decks in the game, you'd be a top 3 deck in the game. Right? Like that's just like how it be. It is a good Fumio. You also get access to that one really good red card, or the yellow card. You can play the Matsuri, like the EP 4500 card. You can play that pretty reasonably because you're already in yellow. Yeah, it's a 400 no backups.
Oh
no, it gets it's the it EPs if the brainstorm is in your clock, and then you can play that card down, and then there you go.
Can we talk about how annoying how strong, how good that brainstorm is in Ayakashi?
Oh, the brainstorm's broken. That is like actually like one of the sickest brainstorms I've ever played with.
Like it's also your
I think it's better.
It's not a Discord outlet, right? Yeah, because he sets up the clock.
No, it's not Discord outlet.
But
it's better.
You still set us your 2/2 on turn 1.
Have you seen like the plays that card does in 8 pants?
Oh, my man's all capped.
Yeah. Okay, type that without capping. But I agree with you, Aaron. It is just Nijigasaki, and they proved it's good. But yeah. What is it? What was I gonna say?
What's the downside of the deck though?
Oh, the brainstorm. The downside of the deck is if you don't trigger standbys, you're not doing anything.
Oh, I mean, that's a very standby deck.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's a kind of every standby deck. Your early game is fairly fragile. You're not very good at tri-fielding and pushing damage until you hit like level 1. I guess you actually have a lot of triggers. You can start pushing damage at 1 because of the twin drive. Yeah. Like the other cons are like your 2/2s are susceptible to being killed pretty easily. They only have power. It's one of those 2/2s, right? It's like no hand on core. It's just big. It's like 11k. No, you're one with hand on core. Well, they're not big. The 1-1s are 65 twin drive hand on core.
2/2.
It's literally Nijigasaki, dude. It's like 65 twin drive.
Have no encore. Easier to beat board until level 2.
The 2/2s are out. Yeah. Well, I think summoning double 2/2 is still pretty or 2/2s is still pretty hard to deal with. Like 11Ks are pretty big, right? I guess they don't usually put level 1 counters in this deck. I mostly put like 1. But and then your finisher is like is a little more volatile in the same way that like you can spawn out of nowhere. If you're not hitting standbys, you're not getting anything out of it, right? Because like it is expensive to do multiple without cheating them.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, that was like a big issue that I had with that deck, where it was like, oh man, I look at my hand and I'm like, all right, I can do like 4 burn 2s, and then I look at my stock and I'm like, oh wait, if I play these Matsuris and don't trigger them, I can only do like 2 burn 2s. This is upsetting. But so it's volatile in both senses. It can be really insane or it can be really bad. I mean that's my only real problems with the deck. I mean, like I guess your zeros are. It's like you don't have a ton of like good utility. You just have like good cards. Does that make sense? Like my zeros is like all 4 ofs. I think it's like 4, 3, 4. It's like 4 of the one draw card, 4 of the other draw card, 3 of the bouncer, brainstorm. Like you don't have a lot of like good.
Rayo bouncer is the most insane card. Is that the one just drop? And
that Rayo bouncer is insane. No, it's the Nino one. It's the Nino, but it's on place surveil one.
Oh, it's that shuffle back.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's enough. Okay, final discussion. Since you already,
I think 8 standby is better than 8 pants.
You think
8 standby is better than 8 pants, but I do think 8 pants is worse than premium booster Ichigo.
Okay.
Even if 8 pants, if like SDS goes away, I'd care more about 8 pants. I think 8 pants is really good when like the decks that are if the decks that are able to out it aren't as popular.
All right.
But like I think Bochi's gonna be
Yeah,
popular too.
bombs are pretty miserable for
Azure
that,
Lane, the Shinano
cats,
piles
man.
we see, and the Bismarck finisher we see.
I don't care. They're
hope
both
They're both
both
in B.
garbage.
They're just Swiss performers, dude. And like,
Yeah,
that's it.
How
They're
high?
gonna.
Do you think they're
Swiss.
better than Iski?
Smack dab in the middle because these decks have absolutely no pilot difference to them at all. You could replace your Azure Lane opponent with a dog, cat, or other various domestic animal, and the outcome of the games would be exactly the same.
Cat coin
Yeah,
flip.
I don't. Okay, I think they're B tier because they're like I would never be surprised to see an Azure Lane player make top 8. I don't think they're gonna get better than top 8 because I think you can just slam cats enough times and just flip your opponents. I agree Azure Lane should not be your pick, but Azure Lane is that deck that like you can just scam your way through Swiss. So like I would not put it high into B, but I do think it's B because like their ability to scam people is so good.
Yeah,
I think your top ends aren't bad. Neither of those top ends are bad, but like your deck has you're a deck with no mid game. Your deck with functionally no real level 1 game. Your level 1 game is fucking cats. Like your level 0 game is cats. Your level 1 game is cats. Your level 2 game is cats. And then maybe
some
some extra cards in there.
Monkeys on typewriters, man.
Some people
They'll make it to top 8 eventually.
Shimakaze, where they play.
Okay, that deck's bad.
What was the blue?
Like,
What was a blue level 1 combo? I forgot what it was.
Bremerton. Bro, if you're playing Bremerton, you're just playing cats at level 1.
Yeah, Bremerton's just cats.
Yeah, you have a bigger cat. Just more soul damage. All right, that's that for Azure Lane. Quick and easy. Bang Dreams. Does he even get B tier for Bang Dream? Or is Bang Dream like a C tier deck now?
I don't know. My local plays like that stuff, but man, it's like fine. Anti-burn is fine.
Does English have the one PR that people are talking about that makes
or I want to win with New Jersey. I don't want to play New Jersey, dude. What is it?
Does the Bang Dream get the one PR that makes the Yukina finisher better in English?
No.
No. Okay.
If it did, I don't know I didn't know about it.
Or Standby Bang Dream.
Standby Pastel Palettes.
Standby
Palettes is good. Standby Pastel Palettes is goated. Actually, I love Standby Pastel Palettes.
No, okay.
I love that deck. I had the deck in my closet somewhere. It's there.
Bang Dream, both
has Stock Swap Fumio.
Stock Swap Fumio.
Maybe is it worth enough to be B tier just because you have Stock Swap Fumio?
The warehouses are always on the bottom.
You're a generic 1K1
you
deck.
Never get them.
Maybe I could buy that actually. I could buy these decks being at like the bottom of B tier because
Stock Swap Fumio.
It's Stock Swap Fumio and it's like a generically good 1K1 deck. Oh, you get a PRs in English? There you go. That's neat.
Downside of the deck.
What is 8 standby down on this list? That's so true. Did this deck do anything?
Yeah.
Did it win somewhere?
I got on ban, I think. That's why.
Oh, so just anything that changed at all?
No, not really.
Let's just move to the next set, man. What else is there to talk about?
Doesn't do enough. Otherwise. So we're just gonna put a bottom B just because it stocks off Lumio.
Yeah,
it does make them better than pet decks. Yes, yeah.
All right, Bochi the Rock. Bochi the Cock.
This deck is A tier. This deck
is easy
I always argue for top A tier.
Bro, now that I finally have it in my hands,
like
if all those decks get banned, this is what I'm gonna pivot to. I think this deck's so comfy.
This deck is so fucking good, dude.
Like I think I was probably I'm not even gonna toot my own horn. In like our circle and in the public circle, I was one of the first people like sucking this deck off. I'm like, Bochi is just good. This deck is just a good 1K1 deck, and that is everything that it is. A good 1K1 deck. It has really good tech cards. you have a perfectly fine mid game. Your mid game's not great. It's fine. It's serviceable. It does the job. The free EP is broken. Your level one combo
it's not Stock Swap Fumio. It's Magic Stone Fumio.
Okay,
Get it right.
Yeah, it's Magic Stone.
Stock Shuffle.
It's Stock Shuffle Fumio.
Stock Shuffle.
But your Stock Shuffle is probably the best Stock Shuffle that exists. I think the only thing that contends with it is free runs for different reasons. Mostly because it's not always just a Stock Shuffle. Yeah, I really think the tech cards make this deck in this format specifically. So not only does it have access to bombs on a really good core card, that's a big plus one. You have access to anti-overlord techs that I hope people don't play. Because they don't respect Overlord. That Kita's really good. And they have
I play the Kita. That card's so good.
Yeah, that card's so good. I saw one Bochi list play that card, and my third eye just opened. I'm like, this guy's so fucking smart. This card's so sick. And then you have obviously the 1-0 Rio, the 1-0 Rio that eats traits, so you can actually contest Muron, which I think is really huge. You're not, mind you, you're not the greatest at contesting Muron still because your cards aren't that big, but it's that thing where you spent one stock to make them have to spend potentially 3 stock on counters, where they probably don't have 3 counters in their hand. They probably have 1 counter in their hand. Mm-hmm. And if you can contest 3 Murons on board, you win 2 lanes, which is insane.
Mm-hmm. You also have I think the bigger thing about the finisher being cheap, the bigger thing about the finisher being so cheap is that you can freely spend your stock as you need to throughout
you
the
just fix your deck the whole game,
and never fear it impacting your finisher turn.
Yeah,
and all your
you have 4 stock.
Hand.
As long as you 4 stock, that's triple combo plus stock.
You can be so adaptable. You don't have to worry about things impacting later parts of the game.
You have a good free fresh
right play in the moment, which is very good.
Yeah, you have a great free fresh. You have access to the stock shuffle on demand, which I think is really huge. We're talking about bar door bar. I'm personally a 5-door believer. I fucking love that 5th door. The 5th door is so funny.
I was sus on the 5th door, but
it doesn't do anything except
wait. But the one time during locals last night where I flipped it and I grabbed the Kita to use the free fresh on the last trigger, I was like, damn, if that was a bar, I would have been able to do anything. So I was like, I put it in my tweet. I was like, yeah, the 5th door doesn't do anything to your consistency, but just being able to pick it up.
Wait, who's down on Miku? I'm the one that's not down on Miku.
Okay, but we all agree Miku's worse than Bochi.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather play Bochi than play Miku, but that's my own. That's a preference. I just don't like how Miku gets blown out by Overlord. If Overlord didn't exist, I would probably want to play
JoJo.
Miku over.
Wait, what?
I don't care about JoJo.
How down I am on Miku?
Oh, Carmen.
What about what?
Yeah, it does.
Game flow?
Miku does also just do whatever it wants during the game, actually.
Yeah, sure. The reason I'm down on Miku. Yeah, the reason I'm down on Miku Alpha is that I hate Icy Tail scam decks. I'm done playing them.
That's
played enough of solo
Rio, although Rio is more interactable, which is its own problem. I will concede, the fact that
I would rather play a card that outputs a point of damage. It's written on the card. It outputs a given amount of damage.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Bochi. I really like the tech.
I know Miku. I know Miku can just do whatever it wants throughout the game. I know the rest of the deck's fine. I don't have a lot of experience with Miku. I've only played it in the sim a couple times. Played against it a good bit in Japan, but different.
Yeah, I mean, I really also just like that Bochi can just randomly choose to be a board-based deck in a moment's notice. You go EP Rio, Kita for 4 stock. And you're like, all right, I have 2 11Ks and a 12-5. Deal with it. And it's like, ugh. Yeah, the 0-0 back row. Well, the 0-0 back row gives hexproof to back rows. Kita is the anti-overlord tech. That card is insane because on the turn they're gonna blow up the board. You just drop the Kita in front of the Ainz, have it swing into the Ainz, and then they're like, okay, well.
And if they don't blow it up, then you can just grab it again.
Yeah, what do you do?
Grab it again.
Because it's just a 0, you just grab it again.
Yeah, so and Overlord will never stall out blowing up the board. They won't. If they're stalling out blowing up the board, they're inting.
They send those goats because the goats are how they win. The pings at the end of the turn out.
Yeah,
win.
they're gonna send. They'll send the Kita and maybe the 2 level 1s that lived on the board, and they'll say, "All right, sure, I blow up the 3 cards I was gonna kill anyway. You can't anti-change me. I'll move on with my life." And that's how they're gonna play that turn. But you get to keep your back row, which is like the most important thing to Bochi, because if Bochi does lose its back rows, it's like game breaking, but it's just hard to get rid of them. So it's like fine.
I don't even think like the finisher is even that bad. Like stock shuffle, Fumio plus triple
Rio is fine. It's just
still
it's just interactable.
It is definitely can kill from 2-5, and then sometimes scam from 2-2. But
yeah, it's Nino.
Yeah,
it kills like Nino kills. Like it's fine.
It's just not on the level of SDS where it's actually just completely uninteractable. It does not give a fuck and just do whatever.
Okay. I do agree. I underestimate bad players, but at the same time, I don't care about the bad players. I care about the players that you're gonna try to see succeed in a regional. And if we're talking about a deck that's gonna contend into the meta, I care about talking about the people that know how to play the decks properly and will make the right decisions on average.
Mm-hmm.
Because talking about the bad players in Swiss is just not worth talking about.
All right, CSM.
I think this deck is fucking cope now. I think this deck is like.
No, I think CSM is
CSM still fine.
I think CSM still A tier.
I think it's a high. I think no way, dude. This shit's so mid.
No,
I
dude,
hate this deck
so
now.
good.
No way, no shot. This deck is A tier. Double Aki is already shittier than triple Aki.
Okay, but Aki sucks, dude. It's just more
yeah, that doesn't matter.
It's the rest of the deck.
You can't grab the. You can't grab. You're not grabbing the event. Like not having the event is like actually a big deal. You're never playing Bonder, right? You're always 8-bar is bad. Like straight up.
Okay, Katana Man is not that good. Katana Man's not
that 8-bar sucks ass, because if 8-bar gets contested by anything with a board, you lose the game on the spot because you get no hand. You just starve. They dodge your finisher with a fucking JC, or Ainz dodges it with the bell, you starve. Like, it's terrible. And then Stock Soul Bar can't get the 1-1 event. You can't tell me that deck has any consistency getting its 1-1 event. There's a real world where that deck won't early play.
Thinking about it more, reading exactly how we're talking about these tiers, it's probably just a Swiss performer.
Like, come on, like let's be real, right?
I'm actually more scared of Choice Door than this one, I guess. There's not anything you can do about Postman Chainsaw Man, right? You just sit across from it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
You just sit across from it. It does its thing, and if double Aki zoots you from the other side of the universe, sure, yeah, that's just fucking spicy tail, dude.
But okay, so think of it this way though, right? What the best part, and it's really funny because people were talking about this in comp today about Chainsaw Man and stuff, and it's what did Chainsaw Man do with the fact that it didn't have a good finisher? It slammed early play healers and just lived the game that way. Well, guess what? There's gonna be games where you don't have 2 easy Avengers in memory at level 2.
Suddenly, I know, yeah. It's not as consistent,
You won't have the event consistency to EP like that anymore. Or you're gonna have to take really shit plays to do it. So things like,
and if you play Katana Man to do it, you don't have the resources to do that stuff anyway.
Is Kishibe even appealing? Maybe Kishibe is appealing because of that, because you don't rely on the event as much and you can't get it as well, so you can try to scam off Kishibe, and that's something. But I don't fucking care about Kishibe, dude, because I don't care about Chainsaw Man anymore.
The best part about Chainsaw Man, broken Power Stalker and try to compress out the game.
If you're gonna do Power EP, then you gotta fit yellow in your deck.
No, not Power EP, Power Stalker.
No. Blue Tofu was talking about just playing Power EP instead of the Aki. But then your Power EP is not even a good EP. Aki EP is broken. That card is good.
Swiss scam.
Yes, Kishibe is a Swiss scam card, and which makes sense because I think Chainsaw Man's a Swiss deck.
Just say Kishibe can be a scam card in Swiss, and just say Aki can be a scam card all the time. You can still randomly scam people because it's icy. Do everything or you do nothing at all.
You get access to with post-ban is the 3/2 power, because I still think that card is insane.
Is so sick.
That is my favorite card that you have access to. But I just really don't respect Chainsaw Man. If I sit against Chainsaw Man, I'm gonna look at them and I'm be the only way you probably win this game is if you fucking scam cancels and you scam me with Aki. And that's any deck can do that.
Exactly. That's any deck that plays Icy Tail now.
Like I just don't respect Chainsaw Man anymore. Like it's just not the consistency it used to be.
It's
Well,
I
I mean,
will agree. It's
like-
definitely worse than Miku. That's an Ice Tail deck. Like,
I'm much more.
Ice Tail
Yeah,
is
100%.
Miku's probably gonna be
If
a
we're-
better
and
Ice
if we're-
Tail deck.
If we're conceding that Quince is probably going to be the bottom of A tier meta contenders, there's no way Chainsaw Man can be up there. Like it just can't.
But I still think Chainsaw Man's probably higher than Arifureta.
Sure,
Why?
I can see that.
Yeah, I think they're roughly similar.
I'd be willing.
I'd say Ari Fred is better, but
We can leave that for now.
It's interchangeable. I think it's like they're very close.
I'm a stand for that deck. So
We can leave it for now and adjust it later. It's like it's marginal, right? But I think Chainsaw Man is easier to play than Ari.
All right,
if that's
Toy
worth
Store
anything.
Chainsaw Man.
But
I think
that deck's also like a lower Swiss performer.
I think this deck is better than Postban in terms of where it fits into the meta. But
It fights Miron. Okay, that's good enough for me. Actually, yeah, I'd put it higher than the other Chainsaw Man deck, just because your combo actually fights Miron.
yeah, it also against
Finisher
Overlord.
sucks. Oh, you
the
shoot
fact
board.
that-
That's kind of funny.
You against Overlord, you have a 1/0 anti-change counter. Your board sits pretty big. The fact that you can reliably probably set up 1/0 anti-change counter and like always force sides, and then start picking things back off. You have
Okay,
you
but
have a
we
lot of
proved-
like branching.
To be
plane-
fair, we
game plans and
proved
stuff.
with Stock Soul Bar that didn't matter. Overlord would just side them anyway.
Well, yeah.
It just didn't matter.
If you're rolling with Overlord, you're rolling with Overlord. Nothing. The siding isn't going to be the thing that
Yeah. But yeah, I think this deck
Yeah.
being able to contest slime is relevant. Your finisher is not very good, but it's fine.
There
Okay,
were
are we
rumors
playing-
of this.
Is this
like on the first?
is
ban
this
list being
Chainsaw
a big thing.
Man top end or is this Power top end? Because I think that
Chainsaw
actually
Man-
does kind of
Chainsaw Man.
Because like,
top end.
is that card actually big enough to contest in the format?
With the 1/1 back row, I think it gets big enough.
Okay, if you can tell me it gets big
Yeah.
enough, then fine. My problem is that card also is like pretty expensive. But
Well, you also have the I think having the Makima squish stuff mid game makes it so that
that
it's
card's
more
good.
likely. It makes it. It
Oh, so
makes
you
it
have
more
Lollipop then
likely
too, right?
you can set up. Yeah, and you have Lollipop. Yeah.
Lollipop
If you
is good.
decide to play this deck is literally just pick whatever like nasty counters you want to play, jam them in. So you can play a lot of them. But
Yeah, I do
I'm
think
gonna-
the minus soul counter is just really good.
this slot's a lot better into the meta than the post ban deck, I think. And I respect
we
it a little
have-
more.
Mume Kanata. I've never seen anybody play standby choice CSM. I'm sorry. You should always run ACCM. We're not saying you shouldn't run the
Yeah.
interchange.
It's
Like,
more
you-
that the powers sit big and you can consistently actually like get that card because Chainsaw Man has like pretty cracked utility. You can
Yeah,
consistently threaten that
card's
like
good.
pretty much every fucking game, and your powers are big enough that you can expect to run over stuff and have them live. So it's like a relatively reasonable thing to expect them to have every game.
Yeah,
There
I
were
think the deck
rumors of
is
this
fine.
being like the one of the quote unquote anti meta picks. Like around.
I just remember I had my local try this deck. Like, granted, that was
Around
during the
ban list drop.
CSM. Like, no. When Chainsaw Man first came out, I was like, I had him try like Card Gamer K's list and like some other people's lists for the six choice two star standby, and he was or two door, and he's just like, this deck kind of sucks, dude. Like, he's like, his general complaint seemed to be that like the actual game flow of the deck just didn't always feel very good.
The game flow,
Especially yeah, like the way it chooses to play the game, where it's like you play your choice combo and you have to early play your Makimas and you have to like hit a reasonable amount of Makimas, and then if they die, you do feel kind of bad, and then your top end is like it has to reverse. So like you can kind of deny Chainsaw Man the reverses too if you just choose to not play the game anymore after they Makima. You like tie the Makimas or crash into the Makimas and they can't finisher you anymore, right? Because your Chainsaw Man's a burn, like an on reverse burn.
Yeah. I mean, the Makimas don't sit that big unless they're in front of the assist.
No, but you can tie them or crash them. Like crash.
Yeah,
out of them
you
and just
can't
say,
tie
like, you
them
don't
or
get a
crash them.
finisher.
When you
Wait,
when
you
you don't
don't
have
have
the
to-
finisher or you have to try to get it on your opponent's turn, it's so much worse. That is true. Then you're just playing Trouble
Okay.
Girl.
Yes, you can always play the Phantom anti-change counter. That's always the funny strat. The difference is just you want anti-change for the format in general because it just threatens decks by existing, right? You'd rather just have it.
Also,
Like
a big reason.
Shadow the Chainsaw Man is so robust, is so like devoid of space where the anti-change counter is like, oh my god, I gotta play that.
You'll never see me drop ACC playing into North American Swiss. I'll tell you that much.
The amount of people that just throw an early play on the board and just try to get you, and you're just like, all right, I don't want to take
It's
that.
like, all right, thanks for the skip, win in Swiss, bro. See you next round.
Yeah,
Skill
I
like,
like having the anti-damage.
Yeah, so it is surprising how much of a round skip anti-change counter still is to this day.
This deck is shit. This deck is so bad.
It's
Like, actually, there's no value to playing this deck when you can play Ayakashi Triangle, because this was the Nijigasaki at home deck before Ayakashi Triangle came out. This is like, oh, this is the closest we'll ever get to Nijigasaki in English. And then now we have Ayakashi Triangle, and that plays like more like how Nijigasaki did. It doesn't have the extra power pumps, but it's like the only value to HM I doubt, right? Is the power pumping.
Yeah. 8-book Dow.
Just play MTI. Yeah, true. You can also play. This is a good 1K1 deck, right?
Yeah,
This is like probably like a B tier deck.
Just play fucking MTI.
What do you think?
I think it's B. I think it's like a low B. No, like low B. I think okay. Dow 8-book Dow, I will concede. The thing that I value about 8-book Dow is it gets to play all the really good Dow like zeros and stuff.
Yes.
And like make them work.
Agree.
It's a very, very solid 1K1 deck. Is it doing anything special? No, not really. But like Dow has really good cards. Dow's always had good cards. It just didn't have the good fit. It doesn't have good like finisher. It didn't have like good like finishing power, and like your combos were always never that great. It has stock swap. That is true.
Stock swap. Can combo from the back
no,
row.
it's the new set. It's a set 2 Toka finisher. It's back row level 1 into set to set 2 level
combos. 3. Okay, I think the level 1.
Okay, the level 1.
I think the level 1 book combo is pretty good.
Yeah, the level 1 combo is good.
You could say meh finisher. I think the big thing about this deck, and I don't know if Simu actually mentioned it or just kind of like left it out there as being kind of obvious. It was like a really good like meta snipe at the time based on what he knew like people were bringing to that event. Yeah, you can puke emoji. You can emoji in Google Docs. Yeah, but I mean like the JCs and stuff like that can like randomly be like really really gross like into Avatar and things at the time. You have, like Jason said, you have all these crazy zeros that you can actually play in the deck.
Double drop
which means
sick,
that,
dude.
which means that you can like use the tech zeros that like beat the current meta matchups instead of
what's your mid game? Do you have any good mid game, or is it just combo again? And maybe
you move your level 1 combo to the back row so that it still triggers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, back row level 1 combo, bro.
Yeah.
Man, level 2 game.
Yeah, not a very good mid game.
All right. Do you think it's fine here? Above Bang Dream, below Bang Dream, above?
I think it's above Bang Dream. I would rather play that deck than Bang Dream.
It's probably.
I play the deck over Quince. I would play that deck over both those Quince decks, actually.
Yeah, I'd play it over Eatski.
Okay.
And if you play it over Eatski, I'd play it over Yotsuba. So. I just think like Itsuki's
I would never
cringe because it loses to itself, right? But
I respect myself.
Not much.
But like Dow actually like plays a game. Danmachi, this deck's fucking C tier. Fuck this deck.
It
doesn't do anything.
It's like
true. DDM is the bane of A fans.
You could just write benefits ? And then write drawbacks ?
Level 1 gets big. Level 3 does nothing.
Yeah. Level 3 does no damage.
Plays 4 level 0 bottom deck bombs.
Would you play Danmachi for AOT?
Yes.
Would I play Danmachi over Atla? No. I would play. Okay, maybe I'd play Atla over DDM, but I'd play DDM over Adventure Time.
That's some Shirogane EP. That's true.
Oh, that's true. You can out tap counter. Put it at the top of C. Why not?
You think it's better?
No way. Fuck that. I'd rather play Avatar than play Danmachi.
I was okay, but that's the thing. I'd rather play Danmachi over Adventure Time, but I'd rather play Atla over Danmachi, so I don't know what to do.
I mean, I said the Atlas should be above Adventure Time, so
I mean,
Sort of
I'm
like
down with
this.
that. If we do that, yeah, I do that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
I'm
fine.
sorry, my Adventure Time brethren. Except I'm not part of your brethren.
Brethren, you don't play this
I don't
fucking
play
deck.
that
Shut
deck.
up.
Yeah, you
Bro,
don't play this fucking deck.
I own Adventure Time cards though. I want a free box.
Yeah, you play. You look. You went to the set. You control F
Okay,
memory.
let's go
you
talk
buy
about
every
Guilty
card.
Gear.
Guilty Gear.
Is
It's
this
like a
the
B tier deck.
standby deck, or is
It's
this
standby
a
bar.
B
This is the
tier.
only deck worth playing. I think anybody that tells you to play pants bar is actually inting.
Where among B tier do we put it? I think above.
I think
actually,
better than
I think it's above
Azure?
Azure.
I think
it
it's
has-
fine. This looks
placement.
fine. This looks fine.
That looks
It
fine,
has
yeah.
an out to Eno's bounce all level 3 and lowers, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
It-
so
it
you have
can-
an out
it-
to
it-
Slime,
it-
you have an out to Overlord. It's expensive, but if you need to, it's there.
Okay, but dude, that card is
that card's
like
a bait.
gross. It's a bait,
But-
but like also if you have the resources and you can do it.
Yeah, when the game goes in a certain way, that card becomes really easy to play, and it's effectively pay for like a 1K one, and it sets your opponent back on resources, which can be like relevant, right? Like it's not that great to bounce Murons realistically, but if it's the difference between like you sticking your board and like not, it might be worth it depending on how the game is going. For
it's
you,
not
right?
cheap finisher.
I think I think that's
Ram
fine.
is cheap. Ram is super cheap.
I think
How
it's
much is it
fine
to
so
double-
long
to
as you
double
stand
burn
by a ram. If you
4
stand by a
stock.
ram to the
If you stand by a
board,
Ram, it's 4 stock.
Okay. you
It's
stand
6
by
stock
it.
it's 6 stock if you hard play it. It's still cheap.
Yeah,
if
plus-
you're
Actually,
ever
no.
playing
No,
that card,
it's
yeah.
4 stock anyway. What am I saying? It's 2 stock if you cheat it. It's 4 stock because if you just play a Ram, slam the bar, you summon on 2 stock, you summon 2 less, like 4 stock total. You play Ram for 2, summon 2 Luciferos. You just need 2 stock because you get the other 2 stock. So yeah, the finisher's insanely cheap. And also, like, this deck has really good Soul Rush despite being standby because of the because you have Lucifero. Cards like Lucifero like kind of help you to fix your like soul push problem. Your zeros are fine. You have like one of the best helmets in the game. I think the Milia helmet is like broken.
Milia helmet's
that card
good,
is
yeah.
so strong.
Okay, but why
It is not-
Why all these positive? Why is the deck not A tier? What?
Because it
Why
has to hit a very specific cadence to pop off. Guilty Gear is at its
It's-
strongest when you can slam level 1 combo again at 2, putting out a ram, living at 2, and then ram comboing every turn for the rest of the game. How many games that actually happens because that requires you to cancel and stay at 2, hopefully multiple turns, and like live multiple turns, means that it's just not going to happen all the time because that's not how Weiss
Yeah,
works.
like granted, Ram is still doable at 3. It just like you don't feel like you're a strong deck when you play Ram at 3. When you play Ram at 3, you're like, all right, I'm basically just a Marine, but like a little bit worse, right? You're like because you're 4 stock for a combo that is worse than Marine. You do. And like your standby targets aren't that great. Granted, I do think Baiken is way better than I thought it was gonna be when it came out.
Baiken's good in that deck specifically because she can exchange.
Baiken is the
being
card
able to
you can
exchange
hand
is
encore. You can hand
Yeah.
encore that card every single turn, and you never feel bad about hand encore again, right? Where like you have those games with other standby decks where you hand encore your 2/2, and you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to use my 2/2 anymore. Why'd I hand encore that card? You can literally save Baiken every single turn because you know the second you don't want it anymore, you cash it out for the card you actually want.
As much as I want to say that's a real drawback because I love Bridget, you don't play that card in that deck.
Yeah, you can.
You don't have.
I mean,
you
you
don't have
can
the stock for that.
But yeah, I don't know,
Furthermore,
like,
on Eno, I think Eno's actually against Overlord and Slime almost always fine to do, provided you have the standby in your hand and you're putting out a ram on the board on that same turn.
yeah, I think you're putting the ram on the board.
Yeah, I think if you put the ram on the board, you effectively did the whole thing for 2 stock since you played a ram.
And then you don't care if they blow up. You don't actually care if they blow up the board
Yeah.
afterwards because you actually got the ram combo for it. You got the ram combo for a turn, and ram put 2 dudes on your board.
Exactly.
actually
Yeah.
care.
So you don't actually give a shit.
Yeah, your mid game in this deck is also really bad without standby. Like you have no mid game.
Yeah, you don't have
your
anything
EP
to do.
is like the EP is terrible.
The
Your
EP
zeros
is
are also
mesmerizing, which isn't good enough.
the zeros in Guilty Gear are also not very good. Like you have like no good. You don't really have any good plussing zeros. Your best plussing zero is your
Bad
defensively
zeros.
3K Chieri.
No good.
Like it's like the best zero. I think the melee is the best zero.
I think your utility is
that
fine. I
Ricky?
think the
Wait, is
bad
that Ricky?
plussing zero.
There's a
Yeah,
Ricky,
there
there's a
is.
Ricky.
There's a Ricky.
There's
There's
a
a
Ricky.
Ricky.
Okay, so just Ricky.
You're just
it's a
usually
top
so
tick
hard
two
up on
rearrange
slots.
Ricky.
It's like I don't know. I've jammed in 3 in some lists, but
Yeah, like you have like Ricky. You have they do have the card.
Kai
that
is
lets you
good
skip.
sometimes.
They have they have the bell JC, so you get to skip level 0. The best part of having a bell in your set is when your zeros aren't good, you can just skip 0. But yeah, yeah, it is definitely a pile
Shit's
of
ass
solid
at 2.
cards.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
true.
It is. It's just
Bad.
yeah.
bad
If you don't,
too.
it's your first turn at 2 is terrible because your first turn at 2 is you're standbying a ram, and then you have to and you have to do the overlord thing to have a good level 2. Is you stayed at 2 for an extra turn. That's how you have a good level 2.
Yeah. I don't even think bad zeros is apt. I think it's mostly just no good plussing
Mid zeros.
zeros
You put
outside
mid
of Ricky.
zeros. I
think
saying
mid zeros is more apt because I think some of the utility cards are good. Like the double time drop switch is good. Like the
I forgot that card
obviously the
existed.
Milia.
That's a good TD
The
card.
Milia helmet's good. Like
I've never seen good players play Guilty Gear, so it looks like crap to me. True. The few times I have played Guilty Gear, they kind of did nothing and died.
my one.
I mean, my
Ohio
one local plays it, and he
plays
I think he-
Gold Lewis.
oh,
My
God,
one
what
local
did-
that does
no.
play it, he's too
But
poor
he
to buy
plays-
more than 2 rem.
I think he's on Kai Gold Lewis Ram. It's like a crackhead list, but I've watched it work. You can get there.
Yeah, no, my one local plays the one that won trios in Jersey with Alice. He plays it. He did really well with it at trios. It actually did perform decently well in trios. Granted, trios, but it did do better than I think people expected it to. All things considered.
All right.
Another con. That deck is hard to own, actually. But
What card? Guild Gear?
yeah, it's hard to own Guilty Gear, dude. Like that deck's expensive.
Really? Will
Yeah,
bought
that's
it pretty easily. The guy was talking about, but
Guilty Gear is actually pretty expensive. My friend
I don't know
only
if he bought it
owns
early.
2 Rem Lethal brainstorms because he refuses to pay out the money for the third one.
Yes.
Ram Lethal?
Yeah, no Ram Lethal.
Ram Lethal
No, Ram
Valentine?
Lethal.
I hate all you people.
Ram
who
Lethal.
play fighting games.
Yeah, like dude, the brainstorm itself is like $22.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Right
my
now.
friend didn't want to shell out the money for
unfortunate.
that. All right, here comes the whole live train. There's 7. We have
Okay.
God, here we go.
Okay, we can speed run these a little bit, maybe.
Okay, Luna.
Probably
At
not.
least we can group up the Gorilla decks and group
And
the Contra decks.
Luna
Oh.
Postman. Johnny
I
says
don't
it's
know.
Jover, and Johnny's the only one I trust because Johnny
I
went.
mean, like,
I was
okay,
playing Atla and win XO, but Johnny was playing that and win XO. He's
yeah, I mean,
stronger.
like, this is like, unironically, this is still one of my favorite like Hololive decks that has ever existed. I really, really liked 8 Standby. I've always liked 8 Standby. But the
Well,
problem is,
good.
I really do think Mio is such a hard hit to this deck's consistency at level like your level
Mio's so
0 in
cracked.
one game. Like in the end, right? Level 2 and onwards, you're like kind of the same deck, whatever. But I think this deck really did rely on hitting those like that really good level 1 board.
I think I
Like
saw
that level
Ken
1,
tweet
level
it.
2 board.
Somebody tweeted it was like, if you think Callie is a reasonable replacement to Mio, you did not play the deck very much. And I think that's very, very true.
Yeah, like
Sure,
Mio's
Callie gives
absolutely
you
Callie's
insane.
not a
selectivity,
replacement.
but
Callie's not a replacement. You played both. Callie replaced Matsuri bombs as yellow fix and a way to clock yourself and search for your cards. And it was basically Foolish Burial. It was you having Foolish Burial like Nino does.
House the Shark is too free.
I would probably be willing to put this card at like I want to put this card at the bottom of A tier, but like realistically, it's probably like a high B tier deck. Realistically,
I think the hit is a bit too rough.
You think the hit's that
Like,
big? Oh.
I think it's like a
Yeah,
high
you
B
would
tier
rather
deck.
play Nino over Ace of Hololive. That's my question. Is
Premium-
I think
premium
I
Nino?
might. Yeah, premium.
Premium Nino, I'd probably play Premium Nino.
I don't know.
Premium Nino over Hololive. I think I'd play Premium Nino over English ban list 8 standby
Okay,
Hololive.
so think
I
of it
think
this
I
way,
would
right?
100%.
So think of it this way, Kevin, right? English Premium Nino standby's better than 8 standby Hololive. Is also a board-based deck with defensive counters. Like, it's doing like a very similar game plan.
So much better than a heal 2 counter.
You also have burn counter.
And Luna is like
they play bracelet.
Luna's actually a monster of a card.
Yeah, Luna is a monster of a card, but you're playing a Luna in a deck with people playing level 0 bombs that we acknowledge is a problem.
When SDS and Bochi are popular, Luna's worse.
It's the same logic as Akashi, right?
If we're gonna hit 8 pants on that same logic, we have to hit Luna on that logic as well.
Like, I do think 8 standby is better than Johnny gives it credit for, but I understand, like, I really understand his apprehension towards the deck.
No, yeah, because you go from an insane, like, turbo consistent deck that has like a really high like skill ceiling. And then
didn't Japanese players look at that ban list and actually say that ban was harder than theirs? Like, I'm pretty sure I saw Japanese players retweeting it. Like, this is actually like,
well, it was in between them making fun of us for not getting Overlord ban. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I also just think like there's just better Hololive decks in this. Like, your early mid game is so much weaker. Like, you are not getting the same board you were getting before. You do have tap counter though. That's always a boon.
Tap counter pretty good.
Like Luna tap counter is great.
Yeah. Being able to always force fronts.
Yeah, I don't know, like, maybe Summer does help it. Maybe Cali like gets you somewhere better than you were before. But like, it feels so cope being like, yeah, you're slamming 4 of the fucking Choco drop salvage. And like, that's your way to mill through cards. Like, I didn't need to mill through cards.
Slower to
triggers. It's slower to get everywhere. You're not because Hololive was never good at putting standbys in its hand. It was good at putting standbys. It was good at triggering standbys because you could go like Mios and Polkas.
Polka check.
Like, you were between like that and Polka, you were digging through so many cards. You were doing the Akashi thing where you're just good at triggering. But like, now you're not that good at triggering. You're not good at triggering. You're not good at drawing them. Like, what are you good at? Like, having the board when you have it, you have it, bro. But like, how are you gonna get there? It's just not real.
Okay.
I like.
Let's group both of these.
Yeah. All right.
Hololive.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I saw some talk in the chat about it. I want to touch briefly on the impact of a limit 2 in general. The reason why a limit 2 matters is not because it quote unquote doesn't matter because Choice Pants only ever aim to play 2 Gura. That's not the problem. The problem is when you go to a regional, you have to play 11 rounds of Swiss. Do you know what can happen in 11 rounds of Swiss when you only have 2 Guras in a deck that really doesn't proactively sculpt that well? One goes to your first trigger, maybe 3 of your games on the day. One of them goes to your clock, and you can't pick it up. And then you're saying, oh, well, we can put cards like the clock swap in our list. We can put twin drives in our list to pay out our first triggered Guras like they were climaxes. All those cope things you do makes your lists worse, makes them less consistent, and most importantly, at a base level, removes your ability to draw into that second Gura on your finisher turn or brainstorm into it, which is something, if you watch even some of the best people to pilot that deck, like Steve, who is the world champion, and if you even go out and ask him, that is like a big thing he's even brought up, like on their Refresh Point podcast, like losing that inability on the last turn to go get the Gura and play the rest of the game normally is a massive, massive hit to the deck. If you just sleeve up the deck and bring it to fucking locals, play 3 to 4 rounds, and you're like, oh, it doesn't matter, was able to death grip Gura every single game against all this random bullshit at my locals, blah, blah, blah. Like, play it into meta stuff for 20 straight games and tell me how many times it comes up. I guarantee you it'll come up a lot more.
I mean, I agree. I've been saying the same thing in, like, comp and stuff, too. I say it all the time. I kept saying it before. Like, Gura, anybody trying to tell you that this ban list for Gura is fake is, like, actually coping. Like, Japan played Gura ad nauseum before, dude. Even Japan won't play Gura like that anymore. Like, it's just not worth it.
And yeah, you could say that you can like play ahead and death grip these cards. Playing on a -2 card hand for an entire game of Weiss is an issue, is a liability, and will lead to less consistent results. It's not about
I'm just not.
you just being better at the game. Yes, being better at the game and playing ahead is something you have to do with every deck, no matter how many copies of cards you can play. Just having that limit 2 will reduce your consistency based on factors that you can't even control.
And like Callie's sculpting is only good in the beginning of the game. I think Callie sculpting like falls off really hard towards the later end where like you want to stop milling cards, right? Where Callie becomes good because you can slam it and just pick up your zeros. But then you're picking up your zeros, you're spending your stock, and then like people are like, I don't know, I don't get it. All these people are like, oh, I can hit 8 stock in Caligura every game. I don't get it. Like, I actually don't get it. Like every time I look at this deck, I just look at it, I'm like, how do you hit 8 stock playing this deck and then also have double Gura plus an auxiliary top end to now play alongside? Like I don't understand these people. Like is it just like player diff? Are they better than me? Are they luck sacking? Because I could never see that happening, literally ever. Like you're playing auxiliary finishers. Like at least like Aqua Restander can like maybe draw you Gura or draw you the pants, but like you don't have that leeway. Any stock you're spending removes your leeway to do top end. And like double Gura is like fine. Like double Gura is a good top end. You just have to struggle to get there. And it's not worth the why struggle when I can just play anything else? Like I can go play 8 door or I can go play like 8 pants or whatever else. I probably have more fun playing those decks. But like a Conata pile. I don't know, man. But like less effort.
Mm-hmm. All right, where do we want to put it though?
You'd still fucking throw it in Swiss because it doesn't matter if they don't even get to their fucking finisher turn. They're just gonna slam 3/3/3 in every single lane and kill people sometimes. Just put them.
I'd almost be willing to put it at like the bottom of A, but I'll wait till later and see what else goes in A first.
I think Caligura could go bottom A.
Yeah, I think I'd be willing to put Caligura at the bottom of A. But I think Ozkigura is unplayable comparatively, though. I think Ozkigura got hit by this ban so much worse.
The slam and go is good. Even like single Gura just slamming and going. I think single Gura
Kanata Mine will not be an S tier.
Absolutely not, no.
All right.
And you're going to work to put it in S. Kanata Marine. Smile. Well, Alf wants to leave the stream, so you can put it in S tier. But that's up to you.
Do not put this deck in S tier, man. I think playing these mid-game I've said this to Jason. He doesn't completely agree with me.
Yeah,
I don't know about Kevin. I think that playing these Hollow Live mid-game based decks in a meta where Overlord and Slime are at the top is just a complete waste of time. Unless you just really love Hollow Live. And that's being like very, very hyperbolic, but when we're looking at like we're not thinking about accessibility of decks. We're not thinking about like the properties, what people like, etc., etc. I think if you have access to TSK, Overlord, or SDS, and you like to play mid-game decks, and you have the ability to play either Slime or Overlord, that there's almost no reason to pick either of these.
I mean, I think that's not the discussion of this card, right? That's like you can say that for anything in A tier. If you have access to the S tiers, why are you going to play the A tiers?
True, yeah.
Because
that's just like my rant.
They do their thing, like. I think Kanata's good because Kanata's that deck. Kanata's good as a board-based deck because it's a board-based deck that's the most okay with its board dying, right?
Yeah, because it's cheap to put them back out. It's always been that way, yeah.
Because you always have hand, so you're willing to spend your hand to put Kanata's back on the board because Kanata just gives you back your hand and you get the heal out of it. So as long as you're not eating shit, if they're just dying and you're like still managing cancels, it is the same kind of deck as Overlord, as Ayakashi Triangle. It's in that world of I'm a level 2 deck. Every level 2 deck has to cancel at 2. It is not a detriment against them. It's just the fact of how they play. It's just
how it is.
Like, yes, you're 100% right, everybody that wants to say, oh, well, your deck has to stack cancels at 2. Yeah, sure. That's every level 2 deck in the history of forever. Like,
it's the trade you make. It's the trade you make. You give up the, like, high deck control and like on-demand deck speed of all these other decks.
Also needs to stay at level 2 to like play the game. Like, and, okay,
so you control every other part of the game. Like playing Kanata Marine, you can literally control almost everything except your deck state a lot of the times. So you just kind of you can always control the board. You can always control the flow of the game.
Like
But
the
you
only thing
can't
Neuron
you
has
can't
is
control your
searching.
deck
It's
state.
compressing its current deck, but then if you compress its current deck, you can still trigger. Like you can still just be in a bad deck. You can't stop yourself all the time, right?
Mhm.
But I think Kanata is probably.
I think it's better than Ichika.
I think it's low A tier. I think it's better than current Ichika. I don't know if it's better than premium booster Ichika. It might be still because it has that. The deck doesn't lose to get anti-change. I think that's like such a valuable thing with these board-based decks is that you don't lose to anti-change. Like that has always been the part I hate the most about Ichika. Is you play your Ichika and you look at it and you're like, oh, you're on attack. Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I think
You are
especially
not
when I
Blue
played
Archive.
Blue Archive with Hifumi, and I'm
Yeah,
just like,
Mhm.
you're not
it's
Hifumi.
Ichika, but I get to do it on play of the climax.
Hifumi's
Um,
like Hifumi being on play is
no,
so
I'm not
good.
necessarily saying it's high A tier. I'm saying it's better than the decks above it.
I mean, there's also gonna be more cards in
Um,
A tier, and these will probably move down to mid. But for now, as far as we go so far, it's
Yeah,
high.
like things will change. I think like the next Hololive deck is still better than the Kanata decks. For what it's worth. But I think Kanata could be there for now. I think it's probably better than Ichika. Marin is still a fucking sick card, man. Like the Hololive top end can never be beat. I said it in the deck profile I just posted for 8 Door 2. When you're playing a Marin deck, you just get to sit there and know your top end is always obnoxious because you're always
Just
getting
stock
to
swap.
do whatever decompression tool you
Triple
want
combo.
and triple
Yep.
burn 4 and triple burn 2. Like
Every
it's
game,
so
every time.
frustrating to
It's
sit
it's
against.
similar
And
to
it's frustrating.
Bochi, where
Like,
you can
Yeah,
just
but you get better cards.
I
than
was
both
thinking
teams.
about this like after the next ban list, if they hit all the things at the top, I'm just gonna end up having to play Hololive because I'm not giving up real
I mean,
stock swap.
I'm prepped to play 8 Door.
Either that
for
or
an event if I
Bochi.
have to. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be honest. Speaking of, we should probably move to 8 Door.
eight
We can move
door.
there now. So I just sleeved this up and played this. I played this when it first came out, quite a bit when set 2 came out in English in Japanese and in English. And like I think this deck is just like when we talk about like a good stuff deck, right? I remember in the old days of Weiss, we'd always call decks like something good stuff. This is actually just good stuff Hololive. This is like you just slam all the good cards in your deck.
Play your
and you play
favorite
the
good
two-
cards.
The two most generic combos, and you say go. My
With
biggest
the
issue with
caveat
this
that
deck-
you have to put a brick in your deck.
You know, the biggest
You
thing
put
I
two bricks,
remember,
yeah.
I remember
Only two now.
I was talking to UA about Kantamari not too long ago, and he was like saying one of the biggest things about Kantamari is that sometimes you don't even use Marin for finishing. Sometimes
Yep.
you use Marin just to loop Kanta again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
but
You're
Chloe
like-
Marin, you don't have that.
When you have to
anymore.
wait.
Chloe Marin's you go for your finisher, going for your finisher.
Well, you can loop into heals too if you need to, but yes, that is also true.
It's not
Marin is a
entirely the
finisher.
same finisher. You can use your overhead in stock that you generate to funnel into stuff like main phase pings or other off finishers if you wanted to play them. Like the Rain A ping is like the most common one, right?
Okay, to be fair, I think it's very applicable because Kanata also had the same kind of stock a lot of the time. Like in the good games, granted, I
Mhm.
think Chloe probably has that stock more often than Kanata does because Kanata's spending it on its mid game more often. But La Plus is such a broken level. That La Plus is actually a custom card. Like that card is
That card's
crazy. Like
ditch anything to go grab your Resonate Enabler and then helmet.
well, Kevin's eating his shirt right now, actually, but
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
but
it's because he's just
I'm just
He's so
typing.
shocked
I'm in the mood.
Yeah,
to
at
he's
how
just
good
type.
Chloe is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think so. After playing the deck, because I just played it at locals and whenever. Deck just it runs so consistently. That deck can like very much loop level 1 combo ad nauseum throughout the entire game because Raine 1-0 is broken. Chloe is so consistent at just grabbing you whatever card you want.
And
You get to play all
Anya
your 10
answers
cards.
the one lane you
Yeah.
need to
Anya-
keep doing it.
Anya
Yeah.
2-1 is such a broken card.
Anya
Like, that
2-1's
card
also a
is
custom card. That thing's nuts.
Like I talked about that in the deck profile too. I said I'm like
It's
I think
12-5,
Anya
right?
is on 12. It's 12. 13 with
But with
Door.
it, well, okay, but that's all you need for slime though. Like the
Yes.
like
As long as you clear
because it's
12
no
five.
backups. Yeah.
Doesn't okay, they're talking about movie. Yeah, I just think 8 door is such a solid good stuff deck. I'm playing 10 one-ofs in that deck, so a fifth of my deck is one-ofs, and it still feels good. Like I saw those cards like anytime I wanted them. It was insane. Because you can do stuff like Rene, ditch, spawn the helmet, ditch one for sack helmet, grab whatever card you want. So Rene now becomes even stupider than just looping your combo because it acts as an extra ditch one salvage.
The second when you have
Um,
cards like that, the second you like hit a brainstorm on your compressed
Yeah, you
deck
just get
and you're
whatever you
playing
want.
Chloe, and you're like gonna go overhand and you get to like start
Yeah, you play
flexing
the double
your turn.
stalker.
You get to do absolutely insane stuff. You can like I've had times where it's just like, oh, I hit 3 on a brainstorm because I was trying to go through my deck. Okay, play helmet, sack ditch helmet, grab Kanata, stock 2 cards, put the brainstorm back down, combo. Like you can go off.
I had a
in that
game
deck.
I played against 8 bar Sao, and I had like the game was like pretty bad for me. I triple triggered doors, went from 2-2 to like 3, and I was like, oh, I probably have to play the game. My deck kind of sucks. And it was like I only had like 5 stock. I went, all right, well, I guess I'll brainstorm. Brainstorm hit 3, and then I'm like, oh, sick. Grab Kanata Stalker, grab Rene Burner, grab a piece of garbage. And I'm just like, okay. Now I get to go Kanata. I get to go Marine, Rene. And I killed her because I burned the one with the burn with Rene stuck, so all my attacks are just like lethal now. So I didn't have to like gamble. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's the fact that you get Marine plus all your Marine tools that you got in Kanata in a 1k1 deck. It's so nice.
All right,
You don't heal as much.
Where do I put it?
I think it's like a top of 18 deck. I think it's like the only.
Yeah, it's like
deck
right
that
with Bochi.
I'd rate like it might be the only
I
thing
think the only thing that pushes
good or
Bochi
above
higher
Bochi.
is that it has all these anti-meta cards.
But I think Hololive having real stock swap is like and tap counter.
I could see it over Bochi.
Right.
I could see it over
I think
Bochi. It's real
I would
close.
probably
I'm a
put
controller though.
them,
I'm gonna
like,
put Bochi higher.
Sure,
as a
you're the controller. I think I would probably put them at.
I think it's splitting hairs, to be fair, but
it's like the same. I do think the overall cards in Hololive are better than Bochi. I think Bochi has like the good tech cards.
Hololive has insane
cards.
cards.
Yeah, overall card quality is better in Hololive, but
let's be real, right?
Into the current meta, Bochi's like has the edge.
But be real with me, right? Bochi 0 is not that good.
Yeah, it's not. Like, it's you're fucking
not compared to Hololive, man.
You're running a Shimakai
that card's actually kind of sick. Let's be real. That card lives way more than it should.
It just lives more than it should, but it doesn't make it good.
Yes, I agree.
It's better than you read, but it's not good.
But I don't actually think Bochi recovers from bad games as easily compared to 8-door. I think they both have the same issues with that kind of stuff.
Well, Bochi,
I do like.
Every time I reveal 3 CXs off Bochi combo, it's over.
Yeah, but Marine, at least when Chloe reveals doors, you got salvages, you went overhand, and you just you're playing the same next turn as Bochi is, where you're just like, oh god, I hope I cancel with what's left. But Chloe has all the extra resources that Bochi doesn't have, right? Because they generate effectively the same amount of resources turn after turn, except Bochi saves its resources by free playing its early play, whereas Chloe just doesn't really play it early plays very often, if it does. And it generates more stock off its combo, so you can actually just mash brainstorm. I was double brainstorming every single turn, without fail. It was just double.
It's one of those decks like Spy where you just match for deck speed sometimes too, because you have this stock overhead. Who cares?
All right,
I think they're equivalent.
Jason, you told me to put this one here, Rushia.
Did I?
Yeah, you told me to last night.
When did I tell you?
It was Rushia Move.
I did not.
Rushia.
There's no way I told you.
You told me where's 8 pants Hololive. I was like, Rushia? Question mark. He said, yeah.
It's definitely under the Kanata deck.
Didn't I say that I built that deck? I didn't say.
I mean, it's worth talking about briefly.
Oh no, I did.
Also,
I said
no 8 pants Hololive.
Yeah,
Rushia?
true.
Question mark. Yeah, I can. And he said, yeah, Mume Hushia.
Yeah, true. I did say that.
I was like, okay, sure.
It's fine. It's another mid game. It's another mid game Hololive deck. Moonmay's cool. You get to play the redacted.
I think Canvas is former. It's like
Well, what
one of
about
those decks
Mume
where it's like if your opponent just doesn't pay attention to their deck state,
I think
you
it's
can't
better
stand
than like
wins.
Standby Gura in my opinion, but like Mume, I think Mume's a good. You have to play all the good Hololive cards. Okay, a little less than a good Hololive card because you got to play the TD package. But I think Rushia is such a hard card to deal with for some decks. Actually, I think like if you actually look at the majority of the decks in the format, I think Rushia is pretty hard to deal with for a lot of those decks, right?
above
Rushia,
Azure Lane, dude. It's above
I
Azure
think
Lane.
Rushia,
Yes.
yeah,
Absolutely.
probably. It's still Hololive.
Azure Lane is a fucking skillless pile, dude.
Like,
You can
I
at
don't know.
least flex
I
on
think
people with
Rushia
Rushia.
catches. Rushia is the Swiss farmer. Rushia catches so many people in Swiss. It's insane. Like,
Absolutely.
you catch that one bad deck state, and then Rushia just says, "Good game." That's crazy, bro. Kanata Marin or Kanata Mume? Kanata Marin.
Kanata Marin.
It's 100% Kanata Marin. I think Rushia. I don't think Mume is a very good card. I think Mume is like the best part about Mume is that you get a level 1 combo to play alongside Kanata.
Russia.
You get a finisher.
oh shit.
Nico's here.
But yeah, I just think you get more out of playing Marin because you get a real consistent finisher. You have tap counter alive more often. I just don't think, and you don't have to reverse, and I don't
What
like
the
that Mume
fuck?
has to do those kind of things.
Why'd you do that?
I needed a line.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I need a
I
line.
needed lines beneath you, dude.
Rushia is just standby though, kinda. Rushia is like standby that like steals the game. And also your consistency with 8-pant. So Rushia was really bad, I think, when you had to play like Corone Rushia and stuff like that, where like that deck was like fine, it did the job. But I think Mume gives you so much extra consistency towards having your Rushia CX, because that was always the big problem. Right? Like a huge problem for that deck. Where you was like, oh, I'm not playing 8-pants, therefore my ability to get the card sucks. So I can't combo because I don't have the pants. So you have that now. Mume picks up all your cards for you. Suicide Brainstorm makes it so that Mume doesn't whiff. Mume doesn't whiff anymore. Bro.
Callie lets you rip the 2-1 out of your deck
so
you can
You play 3 Suicide Brainstorm and 3 Noel Brainstorm. Or like 2 Noel Brainstorm. And your Mume... No, because you double field the Suicide, and then you pivot off of them when you Rushia. You just promote them to the front row as shitty attackers, and then you just do your Rushia.
Dude, autocorrect keeps autocorrecting to Russia.
Well, yeah, even Google Docs knows that Rushia isn't a real VTuber.
Where's Rushia even from? I have no fucking idea who that character is. She's some custom
Some weird OC, dude.
But yeah, I saw her throwing shade. That was so fucking funny. She was so salty. She was like, if I had stayed and I graduated that way, I guarantee you my graduation would have been bigger than hers. And it's like, all right, chill. You fucked up.
Do you see? Russia's still like one of the highest super chatted channels of all time.
Yeah, because she was the GFE experience.
Yeah,
no other Hololiver
GFEs
GFEs like she did, dude.
Yeah.
I think she's still like number 1 or number 2.
Yeah, you don't need to play Muna because I'm just gonna play Suicide. I don't need the Rico when I can just make my Mumes hit.
Yeah.
All right,
I really think, dude, Ambassador.
I don't care about fixing her.
So much.
Whatever's wrong with her is hotter. Okay,
Aaron's real for that too.
I want to make her work.
JoJo. This deck is just an anti-meta deck. Like that's actually like I think all this deck is.
Is it all in the trait thing? Is that what we're going in there? It's all in.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, it's also
anti-name.
Anti-name.
Anti-name, but yes.
Anti-name. Okay.
6 choice 2-pants is the deck you're playing. If you're not playing that deck, don't play JoJo's and expect to do well.
Trait wipe. Marker wipe. Name wipe.
Name wipe.
So which one's the trait wipe card?
It's the Rico.
The
I thought the Rico was marker wipe.
It's trait and marker.
Trait and marker.
That Rico's fucked up.
Well, it's one character. It's not like Bochi where it's like a full ward.
Yeah.
But
damn, that character's fucked up.
Fucked up Ricos are the new power creep, dude. Like the Grisaya one? It's still the most insane thing ever.
Negative.
The Grisaya one's sick. Negatives?
Combos
Your combos are kind of
both
mid.
mid.
Choose
Look,
one of your
I've been
opponent characters
playing-
and one of its traits. Send all markers underneath that character waiting room, and that character loses that trait.
Yeah,
Like,
So it's only
I'll
one
be real.
character. So it's not a trait
Like,
wipe.
No,
Trait
it wipes
removal,
trade off
sure.
a card.
Trait
It
It
turns
removal.
only
it turns
removes it
off
from
the
one
trait removal,
character. One character.
Yeah, marker removal, trait removal, but
It is a whole every zone name wipe.
it is
though.
a name wipe though. It is actually a name wipe.
Yeah, every name wipe.
But yeah, like the combos are mid. I've played a lot of Poochie thanks to Cinderella Girls, and like what real like that combo is like very okay. It's like sometimes that combo feels insane, and other times that combo feels actually miserable because your selection is so dog shit. Name wipe wrecks a lot of decks in this game.
Oh, yeah.
It completely fucks over Overlord if they can't get rid of it, and they can just keep
they-
looping the
So
name wipe.
if Overlord doesn't set up at 2 first, it fucks Overlord. If they set up at 2 first, it doesn't matter.
No,
like-
well, they still can't send the markers to memory either.
Does it matter? You can.
Because your marker loses.
Yes, you can.
When the markers still gain.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah,
It just sends the markers.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well, it also just sends the
Well,
markers.
yeah, you turn off the burn ones though. I guess the burn ones are the marker.
No, you
Oh, for the
don't
event.
because you shoot the board,
Yeah, okay.
not on the board anymore.
But if you do it after that, the board wipe. Yeah.
Oh no! Darn. Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah, it's like your combos are mid. You have a really good like the anti name is relevant in the format. There's actually like quite a couple cards that can get stunted at like the level 2 game because of that.
Like you turn off Mume. I mean Nakanta. You turn off Ainz from changing. You turn off.
You turn off all the changes.
You turn off all of.
You turn off Ichika.
Spike's family.
Yeah, you turn off Ichika. You turn off Spy. You turn off every Quint deck then gets turned off in some way, but Ichika actually can't play the game. Like you're really not allowed to
Yeah, because it also turns off names from the clock too. So you can't even EP.
Yeah, it does. The White Snake does hit a lot of decks, which is really good. But then you're still dealing with like more mid combos.
Okay, well, where do you put it? Do we top?
I think it's B.
I think as an anti-meta deck, it's better than Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, sure. I agree. It's probably worse than Hollow
You think
Light,
it's
though.
better than
I'd probably
Choice
still play
Store
Samurai.
CSM
Yes.
is like an anti-meta deck?
I think
Okay.
because I think you
I'm
actually
down.
if you
I trust
resolve
you guys. I have no experience against it, so
it's just because if you resolve White Snake, that card can like win you the game by being on the board before your
That's
opponent
a
can play
lie.
the game.
I played against it in Japan once. He bricked, and working through that deck's effects through a language barrier was very, very difficult, but we got there. But that was my only time ever playing against it.
Oh, I thought you called me a liar. When I said White Snake just kind of wins the game, and you're like, that's a lie. And I'm like, huh? No, he's not a liar.
No. I'm sure I'll play to a lot more once Tanner gets it. So.
But yeah,
all right.
Kimono. This is a fucking locals deck, dude.
Kimono? Did you say kimono?
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 Oh my god.
Kobayashi?
Kimono?
Bro,
Kobayashi?
it's 11 p.m. Leave me alone. I'm EP.
Is it Dragon Me or Maid Dragon?
Maid
Dragon. KMD.
C tier. Time has passed it by. It was a fine Soul Rush deck for that Trios meta for sure.
There's just so many better Soul Rush decks in this deck.
Unfortunately, if you want to coin flip, Cats is better.
There's
and if you
so
want
many
to,
other. There's
if you want to
so
play a
many
Soul
other
Rush
decks.
deck with a little bit more finesse to it, you have ARI. You have
any of the
more
fucking
options,
1k1 slam decks.
not to
Caligura.
disparage this deck for the time it was good. I think it was fine.
So you can play Caligura. You can play 8-door. You can play any of those 1k1 Hollow Live decks that we talked about are better at soul rushing than this deck is. Unironically,
It's probably better than
sure,
AOT.
sure. Splitting hairs, bro. Whatever.
All right,
Whatever
Konosuba.
at retro time.
Konosuba.
This deck is played by one person. It's the
There's one
definition of
man.
a pet deck. Just one man. He's in chat.
Do what's right. We will do what's right.
Space
Do what's right.
Cowboy.
Space Cowboy.
Is it 225?
2225. Pet deck. There you go. It's in the notes.
You get to be the
tier.
strongest though.
Darkness tier. Eva Darkness. Okay, wait. So are we gonna discuss Are we gonna discuss it at all?
What's good about
The
it?
darkness board is good. The darkness board is good.
It had double drop
Your
search,
EP
right?
board.
You have
Yes.
access to tap counter. You
So,
have access
okay.
to seizure, which everyone who started playing during COVID has never fucking seen before. Which
Oh my god, you use
Yeah.
the English name. You're so disgusting.
seizure, foreclosure. Okay,
Seizure
when I
of
started
private
playing,
property.
when I started playing, my locals was English only, and Konosuba was the most rep tech by an extreme margin. So
Seizure
we
of
would
private
always call it
property.
seizure. So yeah, so foreclosure, seizure.
Yeah, but then
Double drop search is like good, but you're obviously your zeros are scuffed
Box
because your set's
swap.
old.
Wait, he's talking about Fumio, Pogo.
Yeah, True Fumio. You have access to
Yeah,
tap,
like-
which a lot of people don't know or remember.
Yes, you do. I got
Yeah.
hit by that card.
Yeah, and Darkness plays it actually pretty well. So
But then your problem ends up being your level 0s are fucking dog shit. Your level 1 combo is fine for what it is, but like it's very limiting.
is Lurk Skill the
um,
event? Space Cowboy? Do I have to go look it up? Is that the one that gives you hexproof for a turn? Yeah, Lurk
Okay,
Skill's
you guys
the
keep
hexproof for a
talking.
turn,
You guys
yeah.
can talk about Liquoreco. I'm gonna go take a piss. I don't care about Liquoreco. The next garbage.
Man, I really hope we
Liquoreco's
get
like
premium
a-
booster.
I think a
I,
bottom B tier
I
deck
printed
would be
out the premium
at
booster
best.
cards, all 4 of them, and it was like playing the proxy deck at locals. Man, those 4 cards are pretty good.
Yeah, those cards are pretty good.
Are pretty good. That fucking level 3 is fucked up. That card is fucked up. That card
card's a
is
custom
completely
card.
messed up. You can
I
go
told you.
into
You were
can
like-
go into look. I read it the first time and I didn't process it because it was like I hadn't made coffee yet. And you were like, Carmen, if that card had anti-backup text, it'd be like even worse.
No, you said it
You
has
were
to have
like,
anti-event. You said like you need like this doesn't have anti-event on it, and I'm like,
No, it has anti-event. It doesn't have
oh no, sorry, it
anti-backup.
doesn't have any backup. You're right, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, if that card had anti-backup, then this should be broken. Like actually broken.
It is broken. You can go into your turn with 3 stock and get
and
double.
still do double, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or you can have like 5 stock and get trip, or 6 stock.
And you
get
never
triple.
have to think about having the climax in your hand anymore.
Yeah,
Literally
if
ever.
we get
The climax
if
is
we
just
get
in
a
your hand.
mid-game card, if we get a card to play in the mid-game, I think like a wreck is actually gonna be
You
sick.
just need
But
like an early. You
we'll
just need
see.
like a good early
We'll
play.
see. We'll see.
Bro, if they give that card, if they give that deck like Yuka early play, I'd fucking like coom.
I'm hoping that I'm.
You
working
see me
with
go.
Brian.
You'll see
Working
me
with
go.
Brian. He's gonna fly into Pittsburgh. He's gonna drive up with me to WGP, and he's gonna hand me my playset. I'm gonna play it in Nats.
It's not fair. You're
Because
gonna be. I
It'll
wanted
be
to
legal
play.
the day after. No, dude, Luca's gonna have to stand next to me because he won't have translations. He's gonna have to be my Luke's gonna have to shadow me. All
It's
day.
so unfortunate. I wanted to be the guy that played the like most recent deck in the room and just play Eurocamp since that's 2 weeks before. But if you're there with fucking like
yeah,
Reco,
with
I
like
can't
a
beat
reg,
that.
it's one day. I got you beat. I got you beat. There's
See,
no
that's
there's no
my-
lockouts on Nats.
That's my
But yeah,
Rochester play. Is just play the newest
Yeah.
deck.
And we're talking about the new premium booster that's not announced yet for English because, as Kevin is typing, this is vanilla as fuck deck. It's totally fine, but it's just not good enough to keep up. And it sucks because I fucking love this show. I fucking love this property.
Isn't
And it
it really
deserves better.
Majima?
Is
Is it Makishima?
Yeah,
No,
Makishima?
It's
Makishima
Majima.
is
It's
the
Majima.
psychopath
Majima.
guy. Psychopath guy.
yeah, Magashima.
right.
I just call him Budget
Both of them
Makishima.
terrorists. Most of them serial killers.
Wait, who voices Makishima? No, okay, that's not. I was like Hakahiro Sakurai. Okay, good VA. But yeah. 'Cause, dude, if they were both Matsu, if that had also been Matsuoka, I would have fucking lost my shit. But yeah, I mean, this deck is just boring as fuck. You have no mid game. You have your level 0s are like fine. I think Simu said
Level
like,
0s are good.
Like
The
the
level
level are like insane. I'm like, they're fine. They're
the
fine.
level zeros are actually pretty good, I think.
They're fine.
Okay,
the rest
but
of the
now
deck
that you
is
have
like-
a Rico and Ricky with a soul trigger, dude.
Okay, yeah, the zero is fine.
Crap.
The rest of the deck does absolutely fucking nothing though.
I
Besides,
take like a Reco over literally any of
I
those decks
would-
in C.
I would
Okay.
put it at the top of C. That's fine.
okay.
Being able to randomly just shit out your finisher with
Giddy,
no sculpting, no
giddy
nothing
eye.
is pretty good.
This is like okay.
Bro,
Realistically, right.
This is a pet deck. This is a pet deck, but my
Oh, it's
I
like the
can't-
best possible pet
I
deck.
know,
but, like,
I know.
It's not that bad.
It's
I
a
it's
Swiss
love
fiend.
Macross. I love Macross.
It's a Swiss fiend.
It's okay. realistically, it's probably one of the best decks in Swiss. It's probably one of the best
It
decks
is
in
probably
the
the best X and B. Yeah.
it has the best high roll potential of I think any deck in Weiss currently. Like
It's
when you win the Macross Gambit, you like effectively win the game on the spot.
the Macross Gambit, by the way, is getting your condition set, refreshing with 5 or 6 clock, and then triple canceling at the top of that deck. When that happens, you actually become an unkillable compression monster.
Because you just sit there, you go triple cancel, draw climax, refresh, triple cancel, draw climax, refresh, and you just do it over and over. You're sitting on like 5 stock, but it doesn't matter because your clock like doesn't move. You don't have to. You stop needing to like clock because you just go like salvage Kome, overplay Kome, grab a CX.
And if you
And,
play
like-
the Shuke Rainbow version, you have a lot more like fail safes in your deck.
That's the dude that won.
Yeah.
One match.
I have a video on it. Kevin, do you need me? I can go get them.
Sure.
Since we're
Yeah,
linking the videos. Yeah.
The floor for this deck, I will say, this deck is actually one of the hardest decks to play, though. It is so
Yes.
easy to brick your game from a single turn at 0. You take one wrong turn at 0, and the game is just over.
The early game is oh god, that's so loud. The early game is like your butthole is puckered the whole time.
Like, sometimes
you have to
sometimes
make
you-
exactly the right plays.
And like sometimes you don't even it feels wrong to do certain things. Like you'll have games where you pass your level 1 turn on like 4 hand, and you just have to look at your opponent and be like, I did the right play. And you have to see if it pays off. Because the second you free fresh and you cancel, you're like, it doesn't matter anymore, idiot. And then you play the game. But if you take it, you're like, I'm now 2-3. I have 4 hand. I have to clock. God, I hope I have a climax.
Yep.
Like Macross
Oh,
Delta
God.
and Nats. Nats is a small enough tournament because this is only like
Yeah, he only had to
4
check so
round
many games.
Swiss and then 2-round top cut. So you fucking don't hit that low roll as often.
And he
He
played against
also was
Josiah.
running. He was also running cards that no one had ever really played in that list. He was one of the only people running the shuffle back, using it the way that he was. And he was also playing a version of the deck that was completely comfortable taking gap turns and then comboing. Like playing for second level 1 turns. Yeah. You also
This deck
completely
actually
lose the mill
auto-loses
counter.
the mill counter.
If you want to grief your local Macross player, play
Play 1 mill counter in your deck.
play 4 unreversible by cost 0 level 1s, and put them all out in the front row, or play a mill counter. Your opponent can no longer play, at least until they hit level 2.
But yeah, I mean, at that point, like, are they hitting level 2? Probably not.
I play Econai Borderline in my video. You don't have to post it
Fuck.
twice.
Okay.
It's the background.
Nice
music.
try. But yeah, like the fact that you lose to mill counters, and there's some decks that can just play the mill counter if they want to. Like, I said it, I think, in the free run deck profile I did, because I play the mill counter in my deck, despite nobody else in my locals except me owning the deck.
We don't have shiny
I'm like-
mess.
Yeah, I'm being real. Like, that card is just a fine counter, and God forbid I choose to play free run at a real event, and I see a Macross player, I know I win the game on the spot, so I'd rather play with the card. I'm also the worst kind of person at a locals. I don't tech for my locals ever. I just don't respect my locals like that to like actually tech against what people are playing there. I always just queue my deck like the most generically strong as I can make it, so it has the counter that'll never get used as anything more than a 2500 counter. But that card's good. And then yeah, you just want to kill yourself. You lose to mill counter.
Yeah, the I saw somebody say like it feels bad to get your back rush shot. I think that so long as you are playing with a singular
The
brain
knowledge
cell,
you're playing against it.
and you know you are playing that thing, like literally, I sat down against Freerin teching green at BCF, and he shot my Reyna every goddamn turn, and that was not the reason I lost that game. I lost that game because my Reyna whiffed. But I Reynade every turn. Or Reynade every turn.
Yeah, you just salvage the card you salvage.
Yeah. You just pick it back up.
And you move on. I thought it was really funny. One of the first times I played against, I went to playing against one of my locals. Like when I first owned Macross, I was sitting there like, yeah, blah blah blah. When you play 6 climaxes because the the chance you actually hit the fail case is so abysmal. And then as I say that, I use the free rush and I whiff, and he just laughs. I'm just like,
Yeah, dude. The rate of whiffing is like the rate of whiffing is literally like I literally say, "All right, let's see if we lose," and I just do it. Yeah, you hit, you whiff, you lose.
All right, Mushoku. It's like a pet nickname, right? Or is it good enough?
Pet
I would rather
No.
play Mushoku over.
Licorice Recoil though.
I would rather play Mushoku over
Bang Dream.
Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear.
Gear.
no way, dude. No, I think you underestimate how fucking garbage that deck feels to play now. Like
I guess.
Unbanned
Dude,
Mushoku
Bot is so
good.
strong. Where's
Mushoku
Standby
Bot
Fan,
is
dude?
strong.
Mushoku Bot is okay, dude. Mushoku Bot, but there's no player at the Ohio locals who bought just the Mushoku Bot deck, and he like will crack it out and just play exactly like Mushoku Bot and see how far he can go. So funny, so funny. But yeah, it's probably C. It's better than like Echo.
C tier. All right.
Got
notes.
tap. Got boards. Got tap. Got big board.
Best sim
You can force
AI
stock swap.
deck.
Yeah, best sim AI deck. You got tap. You make big boards. You get your hand back fast. You can force stock swap if you jam enough green in there. I think it's fine. Paul. Yeah, Paul's a good card.
Yeah, Paul's good card.
That AI deck broke my wallet.
Smooch when board is answered. Weak finisher. I thought you just eat damage, but I guess that's any deck.
That's any
any
deck,
deck,
yeah.
man.
I think
You're just a standby
I think
deck.
speed is pretty poor though.
I mean, is this deck good at triggering standby decks? Probably. It's not really.
I mean,
it's not very good at triggering
against
standby
Twin
decks.
Drive.
For the time
lane.
it was,
In
but
one lane.
compared to
Yeah, you are worse
the
than
stuff
so
we
many
have
other
now,
decks right now.
compared to what we have now, it's nothing.
Yeah, like honestly, like I look at this deck, and I'm just like, I'd rather play Ayakashi, dude. Do you know 8 Standby Shinchan is just basically Mushoku? Like, it's like
I
Nino
haven't
and
even looked
Mushoku had
at
a
it.
fucking baby. But you have you have actual just like word for word Ghislaine in that deck.
Yeah, that's
And you have the
Okay.
2/2 you have the Nino 2/2 to summon. And you have Double Dragon's Aang.
Oh, okay.
It's and it's not shit. It's not a shitty level down. It's actually a burner. So it's actually like a top end.
all right. Oshi no go. Oshi no.
All right, so the deck me and Carmen like and Kevin does not like.
B tier.
Okay, this deck is definitely at the higher end of B tier. Like you should.
If we're putting it in B tier, it's at the top. Actually,
I would
think
be
it's
playing
better
this
than-
over like. Okay,
Yeah.
like you have a
Well, I think
perfectly
putting
solid.
Gura in A is a mistake.
Yeah,
but
like-
we'll get there.
I mean, I personally would put Oshi in like the bottom of A. I think that deck is really. I think Kana is a really good card. I think the deck gets to play pretty ignorantly. It doesn't really matter if your Memcho dies, because if you ask anybody that plays this deck and you ask them if they expect their Memcho to live and they say yes, they're bad. I expect my
Kana is
Memchos
like
to die
going-
every game.
Kana's like going to a casino, but you're an advantage player. Like it's a casino, but you
Kana
know
is-
for
Shut
like
the fuck up, Kevin. I hate you.
You've
I
asked
love
us to change
Kana.
it.
I also love Akane. I actually love all the characters.
I love Kana.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think right, like Kana level 1 combo is probably it is the best cigarettes in the entire game. There is no cigarettes better than Kana. At all. That card is obscene. I think the flaws of Oshinoko is you have no main phase clock, so you can actually get level locked at every level. And getting level locked at every level, depending on your hand, can like hurt you really bad, right? Kana isn't even the CX swap, idiot. It's Ruby.
Oh, it is Ruby. You're
Oh.
right. Kana
He's
is the
fucking
card
dumb,
that looks
dude.
like Kana is the card that looks exactly the same but it's the
It's
bouncer.
the shitty coin flip.
Yeah, it's the bouncer. Yeah, it's the
Real
card that you play Akana instead of Memcho, my queen.
Yeah, like I will say all three of the combos in Oshinoko feel very good. You are reliant on.
Memcho.
I wouldn't say you're reliant on Memcho. No, I wouldn't say you are. I think like
I don't think you are.
The
You need-
games where if I just double Memcho versus games where I either double Memcho twice or triple Memcho is like completely different.
Bro, you don't need 12 stock to go off. You need
Like,
7.
I think
Yeah,
like
sometimes I
legitimately
Come on,
get
a
that
single,
though.
but a single Memcho resolving is like good enough. Like actually, right? In reality, Memcho is there to salvage you your pieces, and then
Yeah, she's there to
hopefully give
pick
you
up
the
the
stock back.
Kanas. She's there to pick
And
up
then,
the
like,
Kanas, yeah.
Any stock she gives you back is a plus. And then like she's just a 2-1 combo that it's like if you play down double mem and a single one cancels, you've gone net 0 in stock. You've picked up the cards you need, and they're like fine. Like they're good bodies. Aqua 2-1 is really complementary to that card. Like you can actually contest. I think we talked about this before, right? In the Oshinoko set review, we were all there. How Memcho with the 2-1 Aqua could actually contest Murons,
Yeah.
which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's something you just can't underrate. Is that you get to contest two? You get to contest 2 Murons. Like the deck is just good. Kana's really big. It's just AK for no reason. Your zeros lacking in some ways, broken in others. You know, you have like some good zeros. So, like I is not the best zero, but this deck doesn't rely on I, so it doesn't matter. 3-0 event is insane. That card's incredible.
Yeah, 3-0 event's crazy.
Yes, the PR fixes it, and I believe the PR was also confirmed for English, so we are getting that.
Yes,
PR.
that's a store PR.
Yeah, we confirmed
The monthly
the
store
PR,
PR.
yeah.
Yep, which is super
It's a
huge.
store PR, so it should be cheap as dirt, and
Yes,
your
that
store will get
PR,
bricks of them.
That PR
Yeah.
like legitimately like saved Oshi for me. Like
It made it so you don't have to have a card. You don't have to have a card get friggin' reversed to like go search your deck.
Search your deck, or
Yeah.
you have to play a drop search. Like you can just play that card,
Yeah.
and like it's really nice. It's very, very nice. I'm a big fan of this deck. I think it's pretty consistent. Again, I think the
Me
worst part
too.
about it is you can get level locked. I think
It's the only Icy Tail deck I'll ever play ever again, because
well, yeah, because it feels really good to cancel on it. Like you swing for 5.
Yeah.
You look at your opponent. You're ending the game. You're swinging for 5. You look at your opponent. It's like you can cancel. Let's see what happens.
You can cancel, dude. Go ahead. See how well that works out for you.
And like all these decks, especially in the modern
Yeah.
format, right? With all these oversaturated level 0 lineups and decks.
Having a dedicated game plan at every level is really important. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's very
like, I don't
streamlined.
know.
I think this deck is super streamlined.
I went from playing
is
the like
easy to
JP
play.
Alice stuff to after that was over, like immediately playing mostly Oshinoko, and I was like, this is so comfy. I love these kinds of decks.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I still think
this
the
deck
level
is
0
very
is
easy to play.
garbage still.
Yeah, level 0 is not very good. It's like you
The
have like a
Akane
couple
helps
good
a lot,
cards.
but it's not enough.
I do love the Akane. I love the fucking card so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think your 0 is like serviceable, but it is not what I would call good. Yeah, it's like all utility cards. It's the same. It's kind of similar to what's the other deck? Like Guilty Gear. It's very similar to Guilty Gear.
Mhm.
You're all utility and like that's it.
Sometimes you reveal 3 level 1s.
You sure do. And that happens. You're still an icy tail at the end of the day. But yeah, I
At
think this
least
deck
it's
is
like
good.
on
I think,
cancel. So
I think I would put this deck at the bottom of A tier for the English format. I think it is still a
I
really
would
good
put
deck.
it at the bottom of A. I would play it
Okay.
over.
Yeah.
I would play it over Gura. I would
think I
not
would play
play.
it over Gura. I just
would
really
not
respect
play any deck. I would not play any deck
the-
with a limit 2 if I need to win 11 rounds.
But yeah, I really do think like I really respect the Oshi like streamlined game plan where you don't actually have to think very hard playing the deck because you know exactly what you're doing at every single point in the game and you're just trying to do it as much as possible. You know what's crazy? We haven't gone to it. This is the first time we're getting to an S tier deck.
Yeah.
Or I think it's an S tier deck.
Because all the S tier
Yeah,
decks are
yeah.
fucking OST.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this deck is S tier. I think it's like
I
I've said it a million
I
times.
think the
As long
weakest
as
of the
I'm
S tiers,
on,
though.
I concede that. I think that's fine. I think like STS is just too stupid, and I think Muron is just has a better matchup into it than other decks do. But yeah, I mean,
And Mirren's also
what did I say about
ignorant to
I
every
haven't said
other
it a million
deck.
times, right?
Mirren's like a
This
super
deck,
ignorant deck.
Ainz is one of the most snowball level 2 combos in the entire game. Like if this deck cancels at 2, so I think the game for the opponent, the game feels more unwinnable than like any other deck. And I think that used to be Kanata. Like it gives me that same feeling as Kanata, except I'm watching Overlord push more damage on me, clear my board, and then like I just can't do anything about it. I'm just like, this is aggravating. The deck gets to, unlike Kanata, it gets to push itself to 2 while generating advantage. It like it just does so much. It's uninteractive because the goat, you can't interact with the events, right? Like you can't anti-burn events. Ainz is one of the most broken like 2-card combos in the entire game. It's completely uninteractable by like everything that is not some inane combo to blow up the board, right? Like if you're not playing like the Hachama or like one of those garbage things like that, you can't interact with Ainz. We are not putting you. You're just eating damage. That is not a real lose card. Shut the fuck up. That's every Weiss deck. I hate that. I hate that so much. Everybody that ever says that is the cringiest people in the world. Yeah, like
Why deck just eats damage?
no, yeah. Sometimes you just
Yeah,
skip level 2.
it's-
Like, yeah, you're right, dude. Congrats.
Well, it people.
It
I think
hurts
the other
more
thing
for
with
Red's deck
Overlord
than other
too.
decks.
I
Okay,
think with
you can't tell
Overlord,
me-
people see it, people
Wait.
do it, people see it work, and it's just because Overlord, and they just see the result, right? Because they don't look at it from the other side. They don't consider how the other
I mean,
side
nobody's
is.
playing the
Overlord's
deck.
a deck.
Like,
Overlord's a deck that has to put a bunch of stuff together. So of course, if you rush it, they're gonna have a rougher time. Like, you know, if you have the ability to take the game fast, take the game fast. Like, you know, nothing loses to Suisse Mume, Aaron. Shut up. That deck
I
sucks.
actually like. Okay, I've had that happen a couple times. I think the deck can like pretty reasonably play through the I refreshed and hit level 2. It's just kind of hand dependent, but like it can definitely play through it. But yeah, it is a problem.
Skill requirement.
Unless your name is Simu, and then he tells you the deck has no skill at all. There's literally zero expression in the deck. You just ride the Ainz train.
I went to
Yeah, that was a whack
I went to
take,
UA's
man.
chat group. Like they're playing slime. They're playing a bunch of slime into Overlord, and boy, we had to have 5 people doing like a round table discussion about what Overlord players should do, because it's just like there's so much you can do.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things, and
Yeah.
you can make a lot of like. Am I siding the Murons? Am I respecting the Muron? Like, what am I doing here?
Do I
What cards
commit
am I
to
playing?
double EP?
Do I actually like split my markers? Do like force them to now go dig for a second Shuna? There's a lot of variance in that matchup, especially, and like a lot of things you can do. Like even I was talking to about Ryan when we were grinding games for trios. We were like having this whole discussion where like I think a lot of Overlord players are also just like really scared to cut themselves in situations where it doesn't feel good to cut yourself. Like they don't want, and that's like why I think a lot of players like drop the bar a lot of the time. They're not willing to go the mile for the bar, despite knowing that if you have the bar, like if you don't have the bar, you lose the game. Like they're just not willing. And I saw that happen at I think it was like trios or whatever. The guy just didn't want to. He didn't want to commit for the bar, and he lost the game because of it. And we talked about it afterwards, and he's like, "Yeah, I just like didn't want to keep cutting myself, and I was scared to do it." I'm like, "You gotta just do it, man. Like, it's too much." Yeah, I mean, like the deck is hard. It definitely has. It also has a streamlined play pattern, though, right? The deck is streamlined in like what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, but it has like branches. Like
Yeah,
even the one
I
guy, he made a whole thing about like refreshing 8 versus keeping a bar in your hand. I think you always keep the bar in your hand, pretty sure. But
like
yeah,
you can just. It's easy to EP Ainz out, but it's not easy to get yourself
to make the decisions that
and then have the foresight what you need to do for turns and stuff like that.
And sometimes it's like how you sculpt, how you shall tier.
Because you only have so much sculpting. It's not like a free sculpt.
The early game is a lot more intricate and shaky than people realize.
I do think like cards like Cocutus have smoothed out this deck a lot, though. Like adding Cocutus Chaser to this deck was like such a game changer compared to like the original version that I played.
The aha moment with the like, especially if you play Bride. I know not everybody plays Bride. Like the big moment for me, and I barely play the deck at all, was just like, oh yeah, this Cocytus translates every single point of damage this Cocytus fogs at any point in the early game is plus one card in hand because of plus one card in hand because of Bride.
Maybe that's what I like about this deck so much. Yeah. Actually, is like what Kevin's writing, how like different this deck is. Like that was always something I looked for when I started Weiss. I was always trying to look for the decks that didn't play like every other Weiss deck. I wanted the things that were different. Like I didn't want the super duper streamlined. Like I just because like back then that was like when like Cocoachino was like a deck still, and it's like, oh, what does Cocoachino do? It rules on itself until the Cocoachinos. Okay, well that's boring.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I like this deck a lot. I also just like EP decks. But yeah, I mean, I just think Overlord
we're all chasing the dragon and free zero book stock.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll never feel that again. Yeah, I think Overlord is the worst deck though. C tier. Sorry.
Just Ben. Only Ben.
Yeah, sorry, Ben.
Hope he can put up with it at Sacramento or whatever event he takes.
I don't even really want to talk about Review Star like too much. It just doesn't have the right cards.
No one knows what.
I might know some things, but I'm keeping my mouth zipped. I'm not going to
Finisher is cheap, but
no leaks for me.
I mean, the card quality is just not high enough in this set. Actually,
I have no leaks to give.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody cares. Ruby. Is Ruby B or A?
I think so. Ruby is standby. Is
Nino.
I'm a doubter, but
it's worse than Nino.
I haven't seen enough
think it's
of
worse
it.
than playing Nino.
I haven't seen enough of it, but I'm a doubter.
I'd probably put it worse. Is it worse than 8 Standby Hollow?
I know there's quite a few people on Discord who are really high in this deck, but personally, I just think it's just a Nino deck with just a better finisher.
Yeah, it's a Nino
better
deck
finisher and stock swap.
Yeah.
True, it does have stock swap. But like it doesn't stand by as well as Nino does, because despite having some of the same tools as Nino. Yeah, I mean you're a Nino deck that has a better finisher and stock swap, but you're worse at standbying.
It's above Nino. They spelled it wrong. She probably
Was she propaganda? What?
Hmm.
Oh, they spelled it with a U.
What's happening?
Oopsies.
Well, the set code is with a W.
But yeah, sure. I don't think it's better than Premium Booster Nino. I think it'd be better. It's better than current Nino, but
wait, isn't the series Ruby is with a W?
With a W, it's with a W.
Yeah, what the fuck? What is this guy talking to me about? What the fuck? Better than Nino. But by how much?
I don't think it's better than Premium Booster Nino.
I think
like it's better. It's better than now Nino. If we're talking about Premium Booster Nino, it's not better than Premium Booster Nino.
I take
Premium
my
Booster Nino has infinitely more. Like I don't know, like you aren't good into slime. Your finishers of vanilla burn versus slime, which is like pretty cringe. You
get Crow Overlord. Yeah, I think.
Uninteractive finisher.
Higher level 3, the Shuffleback. That card is
unless
not very
they have
insane.
X-Proof.
I played that card like ad nauseum. If that's the one we're talking about, that card is not very insane. Yeah, I mean, like you have stock
I think
swap.
it's insane when people play with that. I think the Pyrrha combo seems. I think the Pyrrha combo seems so much better when you like just like drop it on someone and they don't. It's and they don't care. Like, it's like Rushia.
Like, okay, the problem with Pyrrha is if opponent's board is open, right? That card feels insane because you actually get to like shuffle back 5 and like push damage. The second your opponent has a board, you're going like 2-1-1. And you're like, wow, my shuffle back 5 felt so good. They don't play Pyrrha.
Oh, they don't?
HDMI does not play this card. No.
What about Choice Standby?
HDMI. No, they play. It's just drawn into Ruby.
Okay. What about? Do we think Choice Standby's? I see a lot of discussion where Choice Standby is better than A Standby.
Okay, I've never played against it. I'd be willing to put it above 8 Standby. I don't know anything about it though. Like, I just don't see people play these guys. I only see people play standby.
I need gameplay, and I need results out of it, and then I'll believe. I because I messed with it myself. No, it did not. I was there.
Was the top 8 in Ohio?
No, it
Ohio.
was never.
The
No.
2K. What was that one?
Oh, Gold Star.
That wasn't Ohio.
Cali.
That was Gold Star. That was Cali. Yeah.
Was it choice or was it standby?
It was a standby.
And I'd have to see it played into the top meta. I'd have to see it grinded into the top meta.
He was playing that.
People say you can play Bouncer for the slime matchup, but I say, what if they just double Shuna, because that's an easy play they can do. They were doing that against Avatar. Just
Overlord. Like
yeah.
The slime, if a slime player has brain cells, they acknowledge what decks they need double Shuna.
And you don't press well enough or do anything to stop fucking SDS from just SDSing all over you.
Again, you're Nino you're basically better than current Nino, but worse than Premium Booster Nino, where Premium Booster Nino has more tools to be a better standby deck. And it'll always just be a better standby deck. Like, it's fine to be B tier. I think these decks are both probably B tier.
Because my theory on it, and I'm willing to be proven wrong. In fact, I would like someone to prove me wrong on Ruby.
Show me Ruby.
Please prove me wrong, please, because I have Ruby and I'd love for it to be sick because it's an English exclusive. But the thing with English exclusives is there's always going to be people out there saying Dex cracked, Dex stands whatever, and then there's like no results, nothing about it. Like, I mean, we have results for Overlord. Even if you only look at English, we have results for that. You can't even make that comparison, which would be insane reach to make. But like, just to get ahead of that, like, show me the result. Like, once we get to BCS season, I will happily fucking sleeve that deck up, go out and buy whatever premium booster cards I need to, and fucking play the shit out of it because I think all the English exclusives are cool. So I'm ready to get proven wrong.
I don't even want to concede that Ruby's better than Hololive, but I'll let it go. I just don't care enough. I don't know enough about the decks. They just seem fine.
Yeah, they seem okay. Well, it's not never my choice. I do think the finisher is nice, but I played a bit of it in the sim, and I just looked at it as like, it's just finisher.
Yep.
And that's it. But then there's the meta dex plays around your finisher, or don't even let you get to your finisher turn.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
Do you want to go just talk about Sal?
Sal. It's pet.
This is a pet deck.
Toss in pet. It's this deck in
English.
This
is Darcy's pet deck. Granted,
unbelievable suffering.
Do you think it's B tier?
I'm a B tier. I mean, I'm at C tier.
Like, granted, my local has been doing really well with it. She's just been playing this deck ad nauseum. It's hard to say. It's like hard to say. I just don't think the deck's that good. Like, it's really easy to disrupt, especially in English.
And win games.
Sora versus Suzu. Does Sora target? Sora doesn't target though, does she? Doesn't Sora give
Sora targets? Sora does target.
Oh.
Sora targets, Yuna doesn't.
Yuna does not.
Yeah, Yuna doesn't. Yuna is the card across from this gets. I remember reading. I read that because I played against it while playing Ape Anti-Akashi. I was like, can you?
And then you still get to play a finisher. That's the main reason to play this. Is like,
you have a game. You have a
game plan in it. You got a game plan at every level. Which
you
get
nice. Access to the cancel burn one.
The issue with it is you don't have all the LN utility that made this deck tick. And you can
also,
very easily brick, flood.
If you're playing the split unit shit, you play the split unit deck, and like sometimes you actually can't do the anniversary combo.
Yeah,
because you don't have 3 anniversaries. Because you're sculpting for like double Yuki plus double. Oh, sorry, I mean 60. The split Yuki combo is not Yuna. You play because you're playing like 2 anniversary Yukis, one regular, one old Yuki, and then you have to find 2 more anniversary.
You have to have a full board to play Zekken, which sucks. I
they need Zekken to play
from all those. Yeah.
Well, I asked them. I was like, "Oh, would you ever want to cut the old Yuki?" And she made a point. I was like, "No, I need to search for the piece." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right, because you need to search.
Otherwise, you can't get them." Yeah.
Well, you can. They're anniversary traded, right? It's an anniversary card. But
yeah,
you just don't get them. You don't just don't get them reliably. Yeah, like this deck, like also it gets bounced by like Guilty Gear. It loses the game. I played that against Darcy a lot pre-Worlds. He's like, hey, can you play Guilty Gear into me playing Una? And I'm like, sure. And I think I won like every single game because I would just go, all right, bounce your board. All right, how do you play the game now? And he's like, I don't. It's like, yeah, I know you don't.
Even Chainsaw Man or Ushinoko, Smooch man.
You can drop Unit. You can drop Unit down.
My problem with Escanor, no one ever wants to play because if you're gonna play a dude, you might as well play Hendrickson.
Yeah, I mean, like, Hendrickson gets to stock swap Fumio. Escanor doesn't. I think that's like the biggest difference. Like, actually.
Also,
like,
Hendrickson is completely non-interactive. And
Escanor has interaction. Escanor has to sculpt harder. I think Escanor is better at winning, like more reliably winning the game.
I don't even want to include Escanor because no one is literally gonna play Escanor.
Yeah, don't even put it up. No, don't even put it up.
Yeah,
like literally, no one's playing Escanor because.
What's also funny?
I think Escanor is like a B tier deck at best. I think right now
because of the slot requirements for Escanor, the Hendrickson deck plays the Escanor bomb. With that disgusting card, better than the other deck. Because I remember when Escanor was the shit, I was like, yeah, this Escanor bomb is good, but like, how do I fit this in the deck? It makes the rest of my deck worse, so I never played it. When Escanor was the play. And then after the ban, you're playing Hendrickson. Oh, I just tossed this in the deck. Who cares?
Yeah, you have the slots. You have all the slots in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this deck is ignorant. This deck is literally just 2024 Konosuba, man. Like
tendies.
It's just so boring. I actually don't know how people can queue this deck though. This deck actually is so mind numbing.
It's when it's a great deck when you
it's a coin flip deck.
It's great for completely ignoring the meta and just skipping to the end of the tournament.
Your level 1 game is pretty shit. Like you're not really contesting board ever, which can be a downside against some decks. Sometimes your top end is just a coin flip as well. You go stock swap Fumio 2 burn 4s, and you just say, okay, this is my top end. Did you die? No.
You push a lot of damage throughout the game. You have like a disgusting consistency engine. That's you sit there, you play with yourself, you put the Hendricksons on the board and do your decompression.
This deck is also very back row.
If
you lose your Liz bombs.
Well, I guess Elizabeth.
Elena
Brainstorm is really strong though.
Yeah, I think you are very reliant on seeing your stock soul. If the deck doesn't see its stock soul, it doesn't play the game.
Elaine.
Elaine.
Yeah. Okay. Like
yes.
Like yeah.
But yeah, I don't like if you don't see your stock soul, the game is pretty miserable. If you don't see the Elizabeth, it's miserable. Actually, like that can be like a real problem is you just don't see the Elizabeths. In general, I think it's just like I just think a negative is that you have to coin flip decks. Like sometimes your win con is just coin flipping your opponent.
I don't think that's negative.
Is that not a negative that you have to coin flip to win some games?
I mean, all decks just have to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think anytime you do stock swap Fumio, you're still just coin flipping your opponent. Like that's what Konosuba did all the time, and it was considered like the worst part of the deck. As you're just like reducing games down to a coin flip.
I don't think it's really a negative. I think it's just fine.
I think it's a negative for the actual game at large.
In a game at large.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but not a negative for the deck.
I mean, I think it's a negative. I think any deck that has to fucking look at its opponent and say, I have to coin flip you to win the game is fucking cringe.
Just don't even put it up. Just don't even put it up.
My deck.
My
yeah, there you go. It's my... That's all you get. That's the only comment you get.
That's the only comment you get. Skip. I love.
Yeah, sure. I love
memory. Yeah, sure. We all know. Dude.
Didn't even say I love Kato. Feels bad, man.
He put it. You had to put it over darkness. That's so funny. Okay. All right. What's next? What do we got?
Hendrickson is a mini even more. Please don't call it that. A tier.
We win.
I love Freeran.
Okay, English with no ban list is Freeran
A tier.
As good.
It's still A tier. Yeah, I think
Is
it
better than 8 Standby Akashi? Maybe.
8 Standby Akashi? No, I don't think it's better than 8 Standby Akashi. Okay, wait, let me think about this.
Oh, you don't think it's better than 8 Standby?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I'm slowly moving it down.
You put it back. You put that back.
No, I think it's.
I would
think
choose
it's-
Freeman over Kanatamarine any day.
I would choose Freeran over Kanatamarine.
Like, okay, so Freeran has very good level zeros. I think Freeran zeros are very strong.
Good level zeros.
You have a lot of good options for cards you can playing at zeros and like good utility cards. You have good options for plussing. You're not short on plussing zeros. I think all of your events are actually good. You have the torch is good. You have the 1/1 event, which is actually like way better than it reads. I think that card reads. How many of the 2/0 event is the deck running? Like 2 to 3, depending which deck you're playing. If you're on the 2/0 is level down, send this to stock.
Oh.
You mostly play it to just hand to stock because like you can easily go overhand.
I mean, I think that card is really good into some of the decks
money
in the
counter?
format.
No, right?
What?
If people play the money
No,
counter?
they don't play money counter. No, they don't play the money counter. It's a full board money counter. That card's not playable.
Yeah.
They do sometimes play the burn event though.
I see.
If you play the TD deck, you'll play the burn event. I think the versatility in its top end is really strong. Both 8 pants decks offer something unique to each other and that are both equally strong. You either have a low cost finisher or you have an extremely versatile finisher, which I think is like very good. It is not an
the events, the caveat on the events are made unbelievably better by the Fern Brainstorm. The Fern Brainstorm rearrange is the main reason why
it tells you when you need to
brainstorm.
brainstorm.
Because you look at the salvage event and you're like, this draw drop, what the fuck? What is this for? Et cetera, et cetera. Why do I care about this? You care about it because you play a ton of events on your turn. You're a deck that loops combo a lot. You can rearrange the top of your deck, move through the top of your deck. You can see climaxes on top of your deck, move them up, drop them. You have a lot of ways to sort of like play with your deck, play with the top of your deck.
I want you to know the mocha combos are burn
in and out
more often than it's a mocha. But yeah, like I had this whole conversation. I like when I was talking about it in the watch my deck profile, by the way, for free. And thank you. It's on the Stream Spoken channel.
Let me grab the deck profile.
You can put that. You can put the one in 8 for. You can put the one for 8 door too. Yeah, Freeman's my favorite deck in the game right now. But
it is very fun to play.
You can also put the Oshinoko one too. All the shilling. It's so easy, dude. It's so easy.
It's also just it's a high deck manipulation deck, and you can skill flex on people with high deck manipulation decks.
Yeah, it has really good deck speed. That deck almost never gets caught in bad deck states. I wish I owned this fucking deck, Max Rarity, dude. I love Freerun so much. There's no way Book. There is no way Book is the better Freerun deck, like ever at all. That deck is actually vanilla. The coolest part about it is restanding your brainstorm, but you're also spending so much more stock. Freerun is really nice because it can spend its stock on its deck state and like still be able to resolve its finishers. It has good answer cards. The stock shuffle is really good. The versatility on the double R booster combo is good. The TD finisher being low cost and hexproof and cantripping is strong. Your mid game is actually like fine even without playing an early play. Like you can flex the one early play and it's fine.
The PR fixed a lot of my issues with the mid game as well.
The bouncer is really nice.
I didn't like how little Freerun did it too, so I was like jamming a green package into my deck. But the second they released this PR and I like played it in the sim and got a copy, I was like, okay, I don't even need this other color anymore because you have like a bounce with a plus soul, and then you have that really broken 2/1 profile, the one that gets
2/1 Envy
per
Chains
event
and
engraved.
the Rui pump.
You clear 2 lanes for 1 stock, which is no matter what you're playing against, basically.
Yeah, and
that is more than enough.
You win 2 lanes for 1 stock, and you also got to level 1 combo on that turn as well.
And if you have the overhand, you just play the level down, like just to throw the overhand in. You have disruption.
I think you have really good deck speed. You have a lot of ways to draw your pants as well, even without triggering them, because of things like the Fern Brainstorm. You can like rearrange and then like see it, and then you can draw it with the 1/1 event. There's just a lot you can do, and I think there's a lot of packages. Like the deck is really versatile and how it can choose to build. Like I don't think Freerun is a deck that it's like I slam the same 40 plus cards as every other deck and move on. Like you can play the green stuff even if I don't like the green stuff. You can play the yellow stuff and that's fine.
Yeah, you can splash the yellow.
I think it's very much. I would put 8-door, Bochi, and Freeman all in that same like realm. I think those are all like the same kind of deck. And they're all like very good in their own way in the format. And I think that's like a good place to be. If you want to be like under the top 3, you just play one of the really good 1K1 decks. So I would put it above Ayakashi, I think. I think that it's ignorant to, and it doesn't lose to being like it's board shit on.
I like that. I like that like caveat for those 3.
This deck
It's
randomly
like,
does get to contest, like the 2-1 means that this deck can actually randomly contest Murons as well, because if they're not ready with the Shuna, you just bounce the Shuna. You can go bounce the Shuna like side a lane with the Soul Pump.
We'll get the card.
Get there, yeah.
No, it's not a capsule PR. It's a
No. That was a store PR. It was a store. It was a store pack PR.
It's a store pack PR. All of which we've gotten so far. So
yeah, like your early play is still fine too. But Spy.
Family.
I think this deck is B tier. I think
You think it's B tier?
Is it B tier? No,
I think it's bottom A.
Bottom A.
Which version are we talking about? We're talking about 8 pants.
Yeah,
talking about pants.
Did you split them?
I did not.
He didn't split them. I asked him to split them because I know some people care more than they should about which top end is being played, because technically I conceded to him. I'm like, look, the decks they do play different. Anya plays more towards the mid game, whereas Lloyd plays towards actually playing the top end. So Lloyd tends to rely more on Fiona than Anya does. And they have their ups and their downs, right? Well, Anya is a worse finisher by far, but you get more in like the mid game. But Kevin didn't care to split them, so I'm not gonna really fight about it. I don't care enough.
I scroll up in the chat.
What?
I scroll up in the chat and I see the fucking trigger lineup tier list.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Alright, yeah. Continue on.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like the deck is just Fiona or bust, right?
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
the
Build
deck
the
is
Fiona
completely
board.
relying on Fiona.
Get double
If you miss
brainstorm.
Fiona's, your deck sucks.
Mm-hmm.
If Fiona doesn't scam you cancels, the deck sucks. But like it can scam cancels. Like more often than not, it will scam you some cancels.
I do think the
like
Lloyd version struggle for deck speed more than every player who chooses to play.
Wait,
them.
does it? There's no way Lloyd struggles for deck speed more than Anya, right? Because Lloyd gets to play the Sylvia and resolve it.
The Lloyd version doesn't get to mash down Brainstorm as much.
No, but it has Sylvia more reliably.
It has Sylvia more reliably, but that still means you have to like consciously trigger in a deck where you actively go out of your way not to trigger to have.
Well, I think it's more like
access.
Anytime you draw pants, they're not just stuck in your hand, right? Which I think is an issue with Spy too. Spy gets flooded really bad without.
Yeah, you can get
when you're playing pants choice.
That's for sure.
Because you sit there playing pants choice, and you're like, I'm flooded on these choices. They're not pants. I can't ditch them. I want to like get these cards out of my hand. How do I get these cards out of my hand? But yeah, if this deck gets the Fiona turn, it kind of like Macross in that way, right? Where like if the deck does the Fiona turn and it cancels on the Fiona turn, it feels insane. But yeah, Lloyd is actually pretty cheap though.
Double Lloyd is 3 stocks. Double Lloyd is 3 stock.
What?
Is he draw 2, drop 2, stock 1? Is that his on play?
He has no on play effect.
He's on play. How does it 3 stock?
because of the your spawner.
Oh wait, that card exists.
Yeah.
Right. You can sack it to play. Yeah, my local plays that too. I forgot that card exists.
I mean, yeah, if you're playing Lloyd, I think you should definitely be playing that card. I don't know. I like the check bit, the catch.
Yeah, I mean, I like
the Anya board puts people in. But
my problem with Anya is I feel like most people play Anya wrong.
I
that's
agree.
Also just one of those decks. I think Lloyd is way easier to play than Anya.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I had this whole discussion with my local about this too, where I'm pretty sure Anya, the way you play Anya is unironically you don't Anya the first turn you play Anya. If you're resolving that combo on the first turn you play Anya, your hand better be at like 7 cards.
Yeah, you have to have a big. You have to have
you want to go like
resource.
Ideally, you want to go play an Anya, summon an Anya, protect it with your Brainstorm, making it really big. Slam your pants, go double Fiona Anya, and in the next turn, then you go play another Anya, and then you can double combo. And then like actually do the thing. Your spawner level 0 your.
The pants.
It's a level 0 your.
It's a Sylvia.
Sylvia. Okay.
Sylvia,
You're gonna say like Sylvia Azusa or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
good-
it was.
the-
It was the Twin Drive Azusa thing. That card's insane.
The good part about the Anya is she's this big body that puts your opponent in a situation where they have to choose to dedicate resources to clear the Fionas that have been farming them up to this point, or clear the early play that is going to heal your opponent down and mocha you probably twice the next
Although
turn.
we can
So-
say though confidently, right? This deck is really bad into both Overlord and Slime as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Um,
Not
Those
good.
are the two. Those are both. Again, as nothing matters. Saying the only decks that are bad into SDS, quote unquote, are like the decks that get fucked by bombs, aka Luna and Ayakashi. Because
Yep.
SDS doesn't care. It just doesn't do anything. It just plays its own game. So nothing is actually like good or bad into it. It's just there. Shauna, bro, Shauna's
B.
like it's B tier.
B.
Okay. As much as I shit on it in like my JP tier list and put it in D tier just to spite Nico, because every time I've ever talked about Shauna,
Sometimes just randomly wins Swiss games because your opponent has no ways to out the
anti-burn.
anti.
Yeah, you
It
force
goes in the anti-meta
look at your
anti-meta
opponent.
slot
You look at your opponent and you're like,
above
you're-
JoJo.
I play no finisher. You play no finisher.
Yeah.
Okay, is
I
it
assume
better than JoJo or worse than JoJo?
We're doing this
Post
with
Dengeki,
Dengeki, right? Yeah, post Dengeki.
Well,
Dengeki comes out end of October.
Okay, wait, but I think. Okay, I'm trying to think. If you field double 1/1, what decks can out double 1/1 reasonably
anti-burn?
and still do? Yes.
Chainsaw Man,
Any deck-
Oshinoko, Bochi.
any deck with a single bouncer and the ability to win one lane in the front row.
No, but you're gonna side. It doesn't matter. I've watched these people fucking side in Japan, dude. I know what
guess
they do.
you can. You can just side it
If
out.
you
Yeah.
if you see them you know they're gonna try to finish you, you just fucking side. You win the lanes, you know you win, and you side out the rest of the lane. Like the one dude, did you see the one like the JP guy? His
I saw
board was
that
just
photo.
three,
Yeah.
the 3/1/1s that he just sided, and he's like, I don't fucking care. If you can't finish me, how are you gonna win the game, bro? Adventure Time can win double 1/1. You're so right. But yeah, I actually think like Overlord can't deal with it, but Overlord ignores it because it has goats, so it doesn't care. Slime cannot deal with the double 1/1 board. And I think your EPs and the double 3s and Shauna are arguably like pretty big, right? Like they're not small. And like is the anti-burn is a level X yet, right? It's level X anti-burn?
Hmm? What?
The
Oh yeah, it's level X.
yeah.
No.
So like
I think it's on turn power. 1K, level 1K.
is it on turn?
What card are you talking about?
It's assist to level 1
It's
to level 2
assist to
higher.
level 2s. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sure.
It's just level 2.
So it's sure. That's fine. Your EPs are pretty decently big, which is fine. So you can actually probably reasonably contest some slime decks. You don't need your stocks for a lot of things, so you can probably pay for your encore if you need to as well. I think you are pretty reasonable at resolving this anti-burn. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think this deck is a good anti-meta deck.
Put in
a
bouncers
lot
are
of
spoopy, especially OSK and CSM.
No, double bounce.
Yeah, double
because
bouncers.
this deck,
Yeah.
you need to bounce 2 lanes. Like if it's the same logic as like looking at Shuna and being like, okay, well, Slime is gonna play double Shuna. In any matchup where they know that UG can get bounced, they just play double UG, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can wipe flame and then nothing works.
Oh, true. That also does it too. Trait wipe does
Yep.
it, which is only Bochi. But
Shauna Bomb doesn't look at itself. Shauna looks at the
like for level 3 combo, right?
level 3 combo, and it's only reverse, which makes it a lot worse.
And it's only the turn it played too.
But that card can also mill your deck and plus you, so it's a very different kind of card. I said this before too. Shauna's always gonna like randomly show up in top when it hits the right, like has the right tournament runs.
Yeah, it's just a good, it's a solid 1K1 anti-meta deck.
Yeah, but it's
And
on
so
the
it
flip
stays next to the
side.
anti-meta deck.
If you
On the
run
flip
into
side,
like
ever-
20
you're-
ETK decks, then you're like, oh, easy game.
Yeah, but it's like you're on the flip side, you're also gonna have tournaments, especially NA, where you run into random shit and you just like eat a loss that you otherwise never wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, I mean, like,
yeah,
look at the chart we have right now though. Like realistically, right? The decks that actually get cucked by UG are like a lot,
yeah, it is a lot.
right?
It is a lot. Yeah,
Like
it's gonna be the
SDS,
random. It's gonna be the
not
random
Overlord.
piles,
Not
like
Overlord.
in
It's-
rounds 1 through
It hits
3.
SDS.
SDS. Ochi
Not
has
any
the out.
deck. Not any deck on this thing. I'm talking about like you bring Sean into a tournament, and in rounds 1 through 3, you see
You
some
see the random
absolute
shit.
random bullshit, and you are like, "Holy shit! My anti-burn does nothing. I healed, but I ate
like
damage anyway,
1,
and I just
2,
lost
3,
games that I
4,
would never otherwise lose."
5,
You
6,
hit into
7, 8,
you
9,
hit into
10,
Bismarck Azure lane, they fucking Katsu,
11.
and then they restand Moku your ass.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can just get randomly zooted, but you're also on the flip side. You could have an event where you just fucking hit all the good matchups. You're hedging your bets. So
Like at least 11 of the top, like, of those between S and A tier, 11 of those decks get cucked by that deck and don't have like an easy out to 2
yeah,
GGs.
to get rid of it. Yeah.
So that's something.
I mean, I love Shauna. I think the deck is perfectly reasonable.
I mean, I
I
bought it
picked
now.
it up immediately, and
I only shit on it in Japanese because of Nico. Because he kept every time I asked him how Shauna was, he would just tell me it's so painfully mid, and I'm just like, all right, man. Well, I think that deck's
Well, I
pretty
mean, it's
good,
painful.
but
You
put
set
that
up your
shit-
anti-chain. You set up your anti
put TRV at the fucking bottom. Put TRV at the
That's
fucking bottom.
that's a pet deck.
That
If you
shit
like it,
is-
you like it.
I've never seen
It's
a deck
so
that
boring though.
I've never seen a deck that in Weiss specifically, because it's rare in this game, that like knowledge checks people harder than this
Yeah.
shit. For like the first 3 weeks when this deck was running around, it was
a
like
monster.
holy, like it was like, oh, this is so stupid. And then you like learn how it works, learn how the counterplay works, and your win rate against it shoots up fucking 60%. No matter what deck you're playing. So yeah, fuck Tokyo Avengers. Build a Tokyo Avengers deck that isn't cancer to play against challenge. Impossible. So that's fine.
You're
That's
valid.
my anti-TRV rant. Thank you.
A strong finisher. Only attacks twice a turn. That's definitely a con. It loses the stock swap, like, period.
Especially when outed.
Achin that deck's so lame.
I'd rather play 2 Alice's.
Pachinko. I'll go.
There you go. I will leave a cringe comment there. Alright, the last S tier deck. I mean, the last deck we have to rate. Sure. who knows what it will be?
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Just put an S tier.
Fucking ass, dude.
Higher than SDS or lower than SDS?
Lower
Higher.
than SDS.
Lower.
Lower.
Lower?
Lower.
SDS.
SDS can't be interacted with. There is literally nothing you can play that
like,
okay.
listen. Every single card we talk about, this can counter slime. This can cover Overlord.
Yeah,
or
That's
whatever,
what I was
whatever.
gonna say.
There's nothing that can counter SDS
reasoning
unless...
for number 1 is that it dictates
No, that doesn't matter.
so
I think
much
the
of the
number
rest
one
of
deck-
the list.
See, you're right, but at the same time, you can say
It depends how you want to come at it, yeah. But I agree. That's fine. Yeah.
Like, I think just having a deck that is completely ignorant to the entire meta, has 0 bad matchups, and is like, it's just insane. Like Slime can have bad matchups. Slime has tech cards that hate it. You
That's
don't have
true.
that in SDS. SDS has stock swap Fumio. It has stock swap Fumio. It has a fucking punting finisher. The worst part about it is your level 1 game sucks. But like, who cares? Like, actually, who the fuck cares?
Who the fuck cares when you just combo off from the back row? So
Yeah, like so what? It's the problem with, I think, Slime is if you don't see if people tell me that this deck doesn't need to see pants, I think they're fucking lying. I actually think that if you're not
you need to
seeing
see
pants-
Muron. You need to see Muron for sure.
No. I'm like, so my problem, right? When we talked about the whole discourse that I had like when I was
Oh,
like,
you're talking about not seeing level 1?
yeah, like no level like you play the game, right? Let's say you're playing standby. One of the reasons I hate standby is because I think that deck is dog shit at playing its pants trigger. The best part about slime is your 2/1 Muron, and you're not playing into the consistency of slamming your 2/1 Muron pants, right? Like standby pants notably resolves Muron less overall throughout games, without just like high rolling into pants triggers. Whereas 8 pants at least sees Muron more often, but like the games where you don't see your Muron pants are like almost unplayable, I feel like. Because you're just sitting on a body and being like, please don't out my body. But you're also not searching for counters. So you're not searching for any way to protect your Murons outside of them being 12-5.
I mean, yeah, if you just never see climax in any of these decks.
Well, no, I mean it's like, but it matters, right? Even that single turn, you try to go, you can't. I don't think you could very reasonably slam Muron against like most modern decks without combo. And like,
I mean, yeah, sure. You don't want to slam
like,
Mirren against combo with that against anything, but
because you can't search for cards. So you're just like, oh, I can't get countered to defend my Muron. If they actually kill this card, I'm fucked. I overcommitted. Which is bad. And if you don't play it for the turn, then you're losing turns. This deck also just gets fucked if you skip a level. Go figure. Like I
wouldn't call I wouldn't call the finishing weak. I would call the finishing.
I'd call it mid. I'd call it a fucking pretty weak finisher. I think it's versatile, but it's like not impactful.
Yeah, I would say it's versatile, but like
mid but versatile.
I think people underrate like versatility.
I mean, at least I'm consistent. I've been telling you that shit's mid for as long as you've brought it up.
And I've been disagreeing the whole time, so we're both consistent. I think yes, in terms of explosiveness, low explosiveness, unless you count Xion as
you're not very good at closing the game out from 3-0, I think. Like you're not like super adept at doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair take. I think you're very reliant on like Benny Maru's to like push that damage, and Benny Maru is
I barely even use Benny Maru, but
okay. Well, I don't think trying to mill and loop people is a very good way to win at 3-0, unfortunately.
I think the mill and loop is a lot better when you also have the Xion, but like it depends. I think versatility in these kinds of off finisher things is consistently underrated. However, we have consistently seen that it does do well. So you can take that what you will. Yes, the
Slime does well. I think like
the versatility is consistently underrated all the time.
I think you also lack like a really good defense. You're a deck that is like trying to play defensive without having a good defensive counter. I don't think the +6 soul is a very good defensive counter. I'm sorry. Or +6, yeah, +6. I don't think
I don't even disagree with you.
It is a defensive counter. I will not
tell something you can do.
It just blankets one random swing. That's all.
Yeah. And sometimes it loses. It's a defensive counter in the fact that you should only use it against lethal. Because sometimes if you would have lost the game to the +6, you would have lost the game anyway. So, but yeah, I think this deck is good. It's very consistent. It also gets to be kind of ignorant, like SDS, but it has actual more fail cases, I think. And like, if it gets answered, it's not very happy. So,
Muron's good. That's about it. The rest of it is just extra qualifiers.
Muron is a good card, and I think it is still highway robbery that this deck got away without getting banned again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I don't know if anybody can disagree with that.
So I'm a guy that loves playing Overlord more than like anybody else that are probably in this chat right now. And I still think Overlord should have been banned. And I still think if you told me that Slime got banned and Overlord didn't, I still would be like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Despite me telling people that deck needs to get banned. Like I will stand on a roof and tell Bushiroad to ban Overlord because I still think that deck is like super
So how do I change this for all the people who scrolls to the end of the video?
How do you change it?
For all the people who scrolls to the end of the video.
Oh, to like fuck them up.
Yeah. All right, let's move some stuff down for Quince. Okay, so this is end.
Okay, so
BCS.
every Quince deck goes to pet.
Oh, okay. So this is
Yeah. Here.
This is
This is the real one, and then put this in the document. Put this in the document.
What?
That image. Put that image in the document, like at the top.
At the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because they're not gonna actually go look in the description.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to have watched a little bit into the video to know that we even made a document, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just have an S tier.
Well, I assume
Where's
Kevin will
Dengeki?
share the doc.
Kevin forgot about Dengeki, and then we just kind of all accepted that we would have put it in like low B, high C anyway. So, because none of us actually respect Dengeki.
Everyone's access
unfortunately.
now. I changed it to viewers only now. Sorry, Jason.
Yeah.
Carmen.
No,
we're good.
all the typing I do.
Alright, so how do we ruin this to fuck with everybody who skips to the end of this VOD?
Well, anyway,
Put every Quince deck to pet.
let's actually move the Quince deck, the pre.
Sure, then it's Ichigo can stay at the bottom of A, and then the other two go to B. I think Ichigo's reasonably to stay at the bottom of A. I think it is still the best Quince deck by far.
I don't think I would play premium booster Miku over Chainsaw Man.
No, I mean, I don't think I would either. And I think that deck is still good, but I still wouldn't probably play it over
Nino,
that.
I still play. No.
And just I would just put Nino like next to Miku. I think it's fine.
I think he'll be here.
I think it's fine there.
I think putting it, but better than Shauna. Whatever they play the deck, then play Shauna. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Nina's good. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, so this is
all right. So
pre-premium booster,
okay.
Post-premium booster. The rest there. So this is pre-Quince premium booster. And this is post, because these are the only one that really matters.
Yeah, everything else is fine.
Yeah, no, so all the Quince decks go to C tier, go to pet tier.
Alright. All the Quince deck. Okay.
Alright, so how do we ruin it?
We're gonna put all the Quince decks in C tier.
Yeah, every Quince deck in C.
We'll put Yotsuba as the highest one.
Yeah, Yotsuba sure. The highest, yeah.
No, she was the winner after all.
Izuki is like worse than Saikono.
You forgot Miku. She's in the center, yeah.
And Miku, Miku's somewhere in there.
AOT, we put AOT back in S tier.
Yeah,
AOT goes to AOT goes to A tier. AOT goes to A tier.
A tier, yeah.
For AOT.
Yeah.
You can't put an S. It's not SOT. Yeah, B for Bochi.
B for Bochi.
Overlord.
Now we put Slime in B tier.
Put Overlord in B.
Overlord
Overlord in B. Yeah.
No, Overlord gets to go in A because fuck all the people that hate it. And you put Slime in B.
Yeah, Slime in B.
Yeah, put Freyr in S, please. Thank you. I'm telling, not asking.
Let's put something super controversial. Here we go.
Yeah, Gura.
I hate you. Oh, you're gonna put Macross in S tier.
Yeah, Macross in S tier because it went 7-0.
Yeah. Macross and Shauna. You gotta put Shauna too.
Yeah, Shauna to piss off.
Look, Shauna has 2 S's in its set code, dude. It has to.
Yeah, no, it has to be.
That's
double S. Wait, double S. Double S.
That's too mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
You can put Ari Feretta in A tier.
Ari Feretta in A. Yeah.
Okay, where's Ari Feretta?
Right there.
ARI. Second row. B tier, second row.
Huh? I grabbed it.
Yeah, you were looking for it. Though. Sorry, I was watching the stream, not the. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Johnny. The double S tier set has to be an S tier. 8 Standby Hololive has to be the best.
Christmas Costume Bang Dream.
8 Standby Hololive has to be the best. No, Gura's has to be best.
Standby Gura.
Yes, that's super controversial.
Yeah, true. Everybody hates that.
And piss off Keith and Matt if Keith and Matt watches.
At C tier.
Yeah.
He tries to skip.
If he tries to skip.
Atlet A.
Atlet A.
Wait, can we put 8 Standby Dallin S tier?
No. That's too obvious. That's too obvious for troll. 8 Standby Dall's A.
Okay, well we can put it in like B though, right?
Yeah.
You can move Saikono wherever you want.
Oh, poggers.
Yeah, like a record.
No, that'll be too obvious. That'll be too obvious.
Too obvious. Yeah, we'll put a.
He can put. It's an 8. That's fucking good.
Wasn't that controversial?
Just toss Don Machi.
Let's just put Ruby.
Wait, no, you're gonna put.
Siri.
We have to put Bardor AZL at the top of A tier.
Yeah, bars are a
His Cats is too OP.
Yeah, Cats is too OP. Both Azure Lane decks. Just put them both next to each other. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Cats.
Now let's we can chat with chat.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
they have the tier list. Make a D tier and put SDS in it.
Try
Nah,
Jason,
SDS are already fucking like. I don't know who the fuck.
All
you
right,
put
this
SDS
is the
at A tier.
definitive tier list for everybody who skipped to the end of the video. This is it.
Thank you for coming to our show. We'll chat.
Yep.
Wade doesn't play Weiss. What are you doing? Azurlane S, Cats OP, true. Cats can be top of A. Sometimes they just cancel. That's why.
Yeah, you gotta
guys-
count for the coin flip,
You
dude.
guys be doing JP deck list though.
Where's Pixar and Marvel? I don't. We're not doing Pixar and Marvel. Sorry.
Hey, they're legal at Worlds.
Are
You
you
ever
they
think about
really?
that? Yeah,
Shit.
that's in Asia.
All right. Well, we'll worry about that when we do the world tier list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that those
You
decks
can-
will do literally anything.
We
I'll
won't
play-
be doing our tier
bro,
list for like
Qualified a match just to play Luca dual laners at Worlds.
That's
dude.
so sick. That's so
Just
hype.
to play Luca, dude. I'm gonna ping 7 times in main phase with the Incredibles, and then Nemo.
No, you want a
my
JP
opponent.
tier list? I got you, buddy.
Yeah, Jason did one already.
Okay, but in actuality, for JP tier list, I have this in this channel. This is the Weiss Schwarz Discord. Let me move this.
Yeah, but you literally just
Okay.
regurgitate a bunch of fucking garbage.
I just
Real
regurgitate
talk.
all these tier lists from Japan.
It is literally a total zero sum game. If you are not on Shiny Mass, play whatever deck you think is good enough and that you like, because you're not Shiny Mass. So who cares?
Yeah, it's pretty much Shiny
It's like-
Mass
it's like
tier
honestly,
or
like,
any other tier.
You can target Shiny Mass by playing the movie Nino list because you get bigger than them, or 8 Standby Grisaya because you kick their board. And that's about it. Other than that,
Yeah.
play your fucking favorite ass deck. That's good enough. It doesn't matter. Shiny Colors is ignorant. Stupid deck.
Eight
That's not
standby
very
so
nice.
strong. Bro, I was so smoked, dude. I was playing against 8 standby.
Even the people who play it say that. Everybody who plays Shiny Mass
Bro,
goes,
I
yeah,
played
deck's
against
fucking
Shiny Mass
stupid."
Yeah,
this
deck's stupid.
weekend.
Yeah.
You fucking, I was so unlucky. I fucking hit. Did eat everything. Had 5 CXs left in deck. Triggered 2, and my opponent just played the mill 3 counter. I was like, oh,
Oh,
Get fucked.
oh.
skill diff.
Skill issue. What can I say?
True. I should have just known.
Except skill
What does
issue.
Shiny do? Quite literally, with no exaggeration, fucking everything.
Yeah, it does it all.
It's like anything.
It's not. That's
you
not
could
amazing
ask,
finisher, but it's like the best
Yeah.
8 standby deck you could ever ask for.
but like it does everything you can ask an 8 standby deck to do. Like if you think about what you would want an 8 standby deck to be able to do, it can do it. Like it is extremely frustrating.
It's worse that it's
But-
idols. Idlers to the wall. I've been saying it for years.
No,
Nah,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
kidding.
What- that being
It's gonna,
said,
it's gonna go to Aaron like that.
we should end it here. We talked enough so that people will skip to the end and see this.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right, it's pretty late for
Yeah,
you
we had
guys,
to
so
talk
we
enough.
can end it now here. This will probably go up on YouTube either tomorrow or the day after. And
Whenever Kevin
the
remembers.
notes will be in the description. Thanks for all 30 plus, almost 40 of you guys watching today.
We had 40 something.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had 40
We were like
something.
high 40s.
Thank you
Everybody
all
loves
for
them
this.
tier list.
Yeah, we love tier list content.
Everybody
Poggers!
loves this content.
And we actually have all the notes now too, so you guys can read through that. We won't have sample deck
We
list
never
'cause-
did get it.
'cause I fucking hate doing sample deck list. I'll give
You-
Jason
the sample
access.
deck list you can get. The sample deck list you can get. Yeah, sure. I can just start adding. Whenever I do a deck, I can just add. I was planning on doing Shauna at some point in the near
Yeah.
future. I have to wait till like the cards come in though. But
Sample deck list.
I
Okay,
love.
I
being
do
a
have
content-
one.
I am the content mill.
I do have one thing.
Oh.
Sample deck list. Let me see. Where did I
Fuck,
put that?
yes.
If you
to
want
do-
to, do it before then, Jason, we can tag team it. I can sleeve up whatever you want, and then we can.
I'm too lazy. to get
No,
sample.
because I need to.
Sure,
I want to
sure.
actually like play Shauna. Like I really
Oh,
want.
you want to play it more? Okay.
Yeah. Because like I have all the opinions I need to have of it, but I want to actually like play the deck. Unfortunately, like when did Tegeki come out? Forever from now.
November, I think.
I covered Shauna forever
November?
ago.
It comes out September 1st.
December. Wait,
Oh, never mind. That's
December.
never mind. Ignore me. That's the wrong one.
I was like December first.
I was reading some pin one for different Discord that didn't unpin my ones from.
Okay, I was like, that's so far away.
In October 25th.
October 25th. Okay.
So basically November. Well, with that being said, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thanks for
See you guys
coming.
for Captain Tsubasa next week.
Fuck.
Soccer.
The set looks the same. Every card looks the same. I don't know what they
Very
are.
soon. Okay, goodbye.